Did you just press the button once, or you pressed it twice now?
Well, I pressed it.
Just
yes, when you put a payment through
press
on
it twice, it's like not pressing it at all.
Yeah, right. So do you think this looks like Star Trek then?
Yeah, you look like medical. You should be in the medical.
I was just thinking medical anyway, not necessarily Star Trek. It could just be.
It's like a Star Trek cross with Diagnosis Medical kind of look.
Hang on.
I was just thinking medical anyway.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
speaking feedback.
Not me.
Star Trek cross with Diagnosis Medical. Have you got the stream playing, Ted?
Yeah, I've got the stream playing in the background.
Sure.
I thought I'd watch it, see what we get up to this week.
How else are you going to find out?
When you watch it later, don't watch it now.
Yeah. Then if I miss anything, I'll just go back to the stream and watch it.
If you watch it later, then you miss all the what's in store stuff, and they'll all be out of stock.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'll watch it now then. All right, I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah.
I'll talk to them ordering stuff.
Yeah. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Monday night, the Monday night live stream from us three, me, Ted, and him down there, Chris. Chris, is that Chris? Say something, Chris. So flick over.
No, I'm going to be quiet tonight. I'm keeping my head down and being because someone in the chat's already said that I'm going to be the first one to go because I'm wearing a red shirt.
Yeah, well, we just yeah. You beam down there. Yeah. Go over there and dig 3 graves.
Go stand near that scary-looking alien plant that can't possibly be any harm at all.
And the other guy,
men from the left.
The other guy down here somewhere. What's he called? Fox.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the live stream.
Yeah, we're here again. You can't get rid of us. Yeah, even though the house is in boxes.
I've just noticed rather amusingly that although we're wearing these T-shirts, I think the little box at the bottom actually cover up the logos.
Raising up. Yeah.
Just so Pete knows, we are.
Yeah, because of somebody stalling and dragging the feet, we've gone and got courtesy of the man down there in the red shirt, who won't be around for much longer. The red shirt.
It's parting gesture.
Yeah. So you know who we are.
Remember me by.
And it's a good job. It's a good job. It's a warm night tonight because if it had been a depth of winter of these, it would have been freezing.
Don't get too excited. These are actual official wModels. You can't buy these. They're
not yet, anyway.
Yet, yeah.
Right. So we're off on our usual Monday night. I haven't got any questions in the email box bag. So if you've got any questions for tonight, whatever they may be, you can email them to ted@wmodels.co.uk. You can put them in the chat in bold. Is it bold?
No.
Big letters. So we can spot it.
A large font.
Put your questions in Cyrillic just for Ted.
Yeah, I will do our best. So.
Don't forget, as always, if you're watching this on the wModels website, wmodels.co.uk/live, or anywhere else that's not YouTube, and you can't see the chat, all you need to do is go to the bottom of your screen and press the little, whichever side it is, because I'm reversed, the YouTube icon in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. That will take you to the YouTube page where you can join in the live chat, which is silly fun, and we do encourage you to do so because it's a good group of guys and girls in there. Good fun. If you're in the chat, like Ted says, put in capital letters so we can spot your question. Chris is your comment dolly, as always, throughout the evening. And if you'd like to, there is a super chat option, a little dollar symbol underneath the chat window. You can click on that, and your question will come up in a big blue or pink or purple box, and we can't possibly miss it. I'm wiggling my chair already. I need to stop, not do that.
Adrian Davids up with a question already. He said, "Hi, guy. What did I miss last week? I was on overtime."
All right. Well, okay. Give us a minute, and we'll just reconstruct it for you. Hang on. I had my jacket on last week.
Hang on. Do we need to go backwards in time?
Do the wavy.
Last week.
Oh, yeah. So, I've lost. Yeah. Usual giveaways. We'll get along. We have had stickers. We have had sticker delivery. So
Ian Bottom has actually put a question in Cyrillic, so I'm going to have to translate this now, aren't I? Don't actually put your questions in Cyrillic. It was probably a really dumb thing. Let me go and translate that.
Yeah.
I hope it's not rude.
While you're doing that, Spady Q says, assemble away teams. Pretending your Fox and ensign thingy. You over there in that red shirt.
Yeah, he does apologise to me later on, though. So
Ian Bottomley to get to the other side. There you go. Moving on.
Yeah, Paul Miller is in the same boat as me. He's working on his HK Hong Kong, his Hong Kong B-17 Flying Fortress. That is a big kit. He's going to have to box all his models away as he's moving to Pontypridd in Wales pretty soon. Good luck on the move. Look at this lot. This isn't even half of it yet.
Yeah, someone mentioned earlier that your new place looks the same as your old place, and
yeah,
I'm back.
it's like that. It's to make you feel at home. Yeah. So, yeah, all this is behind. It's not a shop workshop at all. It's painting. So I just roll it up at the end of the night. There's a garage.
Green screen. He's chroma keyed it.
Michael Jacobin says, "At last, I've managed to get a model that I've been after for over 30 years." But then he doesn't tell us what it is.
I noticed that. It's like, oh,
it's People do that like on Facebook, don't they? I'm feeling sad. Full stop. Yeah. Why? Go on. Tell us why.
Yeah,
I get comments on my YouTube videos sometimes. You know, like people put a comment saying "great video" or with a question or a comment. Sometimes somebody will just put "hi." Like, yeah, what? Do you want to ask a question?
Yeah.
That's not how the internet works.
Well, people are shy because you're a big YouTube celebrity.
I'm not.
People are shy talking to you because it's
like this YouTube comments is not a chat. So I say hi and then they never reply for about a week. Can I ask you a question? You could have asked it a week ago.
You just did.
Sometimes if you really go through your back catalogue for about 4 or 5 years, you'll find a question that's been sitting there for 10 years. You know, or really longer. Yeah. How do you do this? So I've missed it. I forgot. It's been there for 5 years.
Simon D or Simon says, "Sorry, I'm late. I've been making a Star Wars costume for Friday, but again, doesn't say what the costume was or what's happening on Friday."
You can't leave us hanging like that.
I get the Friday bit because I know the date on Friday, but it doesn't say what costume. I want to know what costume now. I'm reckoning it's probably a Chewbacca
outfit. Slave Leia.
Yeah, might be a Jar Jar.
Oh. It will not.
Might not be. I don't know. I didn't know. You know,
could be Spock.
No Jar Jar.
It could be Spock. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Where are we at? Yeah, we'll have. I forgot. I was going to say something. Then. You're right.
You're not with it already, are you,
I
Ted?
haven't even been on the gin yet.
Do you want to announce the winner?
Be the problem
last week before you announced it.
I just blurted out the winner from last week.
Yeah,
we will be winning. We will be announcing the winner from last week, who will have won the overnight bag from the St. George themed watching store. Well, we've got a theme this week as well. It'll be worth watching. Stay along for that, and it could win something as well later on. As always, we'll have sticker giveaways, the mug giveaways, and everything else. But it's your chat. It's up to you what we talk about, whether we talk about models, whether we go back to the 80s.
Back.
Actually, Dave Barker says, "Ted, it's a blooming good job. I nipped in for 30 minutes. Email sent." So I'm assuming you probably have a question waiting for you there somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, I do have a question. It says, "Dear Father Ted, Fox and the fella in the red shirt that will be dead in 15 minutes in this episode." I think it's a bad idea to wear that red shirt. Have we ever watched a film and thought, "Oh, I'd like to build a diorama of that"? His is the dead paratrooper. His diorama that he'd like to build is one of the dead paratrooper in a tree that every war film has. Yeah, there's always a dead paratrooper in a tree, unfortunately. Have we ever seen a film that we'd like to build a diorama of?
I wanted to build the docking bay from Star Wars, A New Hope, with the Millennium Falcon in it and everything, and all the little bits of walls and things.
Yeah, I did the Hoth diorama, which I was quite happy with. I'm going to be doing a sort of Jakku type desert thing with the Falcon in it. Pretty much Star Wars. I don't really do big dioramas of anything. So you should.
I saw one at Telford last year that I would have liked to have done, but somebody's already done it now. It was a dock scene from D-Day, and there was trucks and wagons all over it. Just a massive, really detailed diorama of the D-Day embarkation.
Was that there the year before? Because I'm sure I saw something very similar there the year before.
I can't remember. I've lost track of time.
I didn't go last year, but
Yeah. Yeah, it might have been a bit. It might have been the year before, but yeah, it was huge. It was fantastic. There was loads of detail in it, everywhere you looked. That's what I like about a diorama. Every time you look at it, you see something different. That's a real way to do them. So you see something different every time. It's like a railway set. These guys that build railway sets, every time you look at them, you spot something else. That's what I'd like to do. What about you guys out there? What would you all like to do? You guys in the chat.
Michael Jackman answered about his kit that he's been waiting for a long time. He said it's the 172 C-130H Lockheed Hercules, Bristol Bloodhound missile and RAF decals.
I remember the Bristol Bloodhound. That was about the first intercontinental ballistic missile I ever remembered. I'm sure it was intercontinental ballistic. Yeah, and that's pretty good. As a guy, I've been watching what the theme is tonight, by the way.
Watching what?
Yeah, Michael Jackman mentions a Bristol Bloodhound missile. So I just wondered if he'd been watching to set up the stream.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, there's always one that does it.
Yeah, they do seem to preempt quite
There's always
often.
somebody in the stream.
It's scary.
They're like, how do they know?
Yeah.
Michael Jackman.
Paul Miller says, how can I get one of your T-shirts plus one of your jackets as well?
They're very, very expensive. Limited edition, once worn.
Yeah, these limited edition, these aren't official T-shirts. We had these made. We're still pestering Pete Mate for T-shirts. So if you want a jacket, you just need to mail sales@wmodels.co.uk and ask them if they can make one for you. Because they just get them made.
Yeah. We have a question from Paul Davey. He says, what primer shadow coat for a weathered orange vehicle?
What primer?
I assume you mean like the sort of panel line type pre-coat shading.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go for a red under an orange.
Well, it depends how bright you want the orange, I suppose.
Yeah,
you could go for
darker than orange, so not a white or a light.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted it as a really bright orange with shadowing, you could go for a darker brown colour that you could build the orange on top of. Yeah. That would also help you with the coverage.
Yeah, you could probably think about post shading rather than pre-shading. If you do panel lines, do it that way. But yeah, I'd certainly go for a red or a burgundy, something like that. Yeah. That's what I'd go for.
Michael Jackman says it's a SAM, Ted.
Yeah, a SAM strategic
surface to air missile.
Yeah.
And Totally Scale Model says, Ted, you're missing something. Question mark, question mark, question mark.
I can't think.
I'm not sure. I mean, missing lots of stuff behind you because you're packing to move. But
there's no red lid.
This week, where's the red paint?
Oh, I know what he's missing.
Sorry. Yeah.
Puffinless. That's in a box as well, is it?
In a box.
I hope you put air holes on that box.
Yeah, it's punched with air. Yeah, and there's a little spout for pouring food in.
Where's yours, Chris?
It's in a box with holes in it.
Oh, there you go.
He's up there, but yeah.
I did spot that Tony Blackwell said tonight's theme is global nuclear destruction. How did he know?
How do they know this? I don't know.
I think they could see it.
I think we've got a leak.
What? Yeah,
I think we've got a leak.
Yeah, who's the leak?
Somebody's joining our hangouts stealthily so we can't see them.
Zadster says the puffin's in the kennels.
Yes, in the puffin kennels.
You've got to put it in a puffin kennel while you're moving, yeah. And Tony Blackwell says, if in doubt, use grey, which is a pretty good primer base for everything, yeah. Get away with a bit on everything.
The other thing to consider as well, if you do an orange, depending if it's going to be a matte colour, one other thing you could do is, like Ted suggested, post shading, but you could do kind of reverse post shading, where you start off with your base color as the overall color, but then brighten up the centers of the panels with slightly lighter variations of that color. So instead of painting in the shadows as post shading, you're painting in the highlights. So the shadow color is your actual orange color that you want anyway, and then the highlights are what you add on top. That's another way of doing it.
Got to remember that orange is quite a difficult color to get a complete solid color on, because you'll need lots and lots of thin coats, like yellow and white. You'll need to build it up. So yeah.
I mean, if you want a really bright, vibrant orange, you're kind of gonna have to go for a light grey or white, just because the orange will be transparent. So then you kind of are stuck with post shading or post highlighting.
Mike Mountain is visiting us from his holidays up in Orkney.
Yes.
He's in the chat. Hi, Mike. Nice to see you got there all right. Yep.
Hang on. How come Mike's in but Scott isn't?
Scott is also there as well. Yeah.
Oh,
Scott's in the chat as well. Yeah.
So they were being watched by 2 people in Orkney this time.
Yes, Mike Mountain is actually visiting Scott this week. Where is he, Ted? Where is he?
Orkney.
Orkney. There you go.
I've been practicing. Orkney.
I think there may be more puffins coming down south.
Be a bag full of puffins.
Yeah. Is there some sort of puffin invasion, or
yes?
What do you call a gang of puffins?
Oh yeah. Don't say it. We'll save it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Google that because you might need it later.
Yes, don't say.
Yeah.
Dave Wiseman Gombarka says to Mike Mountain, he says, "Dad, you need to shout as it's a long way from the Arctic Circle." Seymour Bobbinson says, "I wonder if Daleks have airbags." I don't know where that came from.
Spiddy Q says, "Ted, opportunity missed. You should have left that one bottle with the red lid on your shelf."
I could have done. Yeah.
But then you'd have left it there and moved and left it.
I could get it out of the box, but I forgot which box it's in.
It's not guaranteed it's going to be in there either.
Yeah, I did try to write a list out and write on each box what was in it, but I gave that up. It was a bad idea in the end because there was so much stuff going in.
You meant to write just what the room it's for, don't you? Kitchen and
that's it. So shed. That's all. Model shop. That's all I put on. That's all the only boxes that are. So we know where they all are.
Do you just put Ted's shizzle on the box?
Ted's stuff. Right.
Ted's business.
Paul Miller asks where I'm moving to. It's just another house. It's not too far away, actually. If I stand outside the workshop door on my tiptoes and stretch up a bit, I can actually see it. That's how close it is. Yeah. What it is, we live on a hill at the moment, and it's just all. Yeah, we've lived here for 25 years, so we're getting old and we don't want to get up the hill anymore. So we're moving to the bottom of the hill.
So you don't have to go up the hill on icy days.
No.
So moving just means pushing all your stuff down the hill. It's easy.
Sorry, Chris, say that again.
To move is just putting all the stuff in a cart and pushing it down the hill.
That's it. Yeah, let it go. Yeah, that's it.
In fact, if you'd done it in the winter, you could have just slid them down the icy hill.
It was a horrid ride back, though. Right.
Get Mrs. Ted at the bottom to catch the boxes. Although I think that would end up being your job.
Adrian Davis says, now those guys are dressed in t-shirts. Who ever thought about dressing up like a panto? Could be an idea for Christmas. Yeah, we'll put that one in the suggestions file.
You want Fox dressed up like the old lady or something?
Widow Twanky, not again.
But you've still got the costume.
I've got the beard for it.
What you do on a Sunday in your own time is entirely up to you, but not mine.
Damn, you mean there were cameras?
Dave Barker says, Ted, the puffin question will not work. There's too many answers. A group of puffins has many collective nouns, including a burrow, circus, colony, improbability, and puffiny.
Well,
I've thought of a question. I've thought of a question that we'll ask later on.
Yeah. Well, Dave Barker, there's a sticker in the post for that. Yeah, because you've answered your own question. There's a sticker in the post. Right.
Do some research.
Research. A question. Well, Fox is typing because this one's mostly for Fox.
I've done it now.
Right. It's from Mike Zadster. He's in the chat somewhere. Hi, Ted, Fox, Chris, and viewers. Yeah, and the viewers going to mention. Well, thank you.
Hey, people in chat, you're here, and people watching.
This one's mostly for Fox, I think. He'd like to have a go at painting some miniature figures. He doesn't know which ones yet.
Some which ones? Some what figures?
Yeah, he wants to just paint some miniature figures. He hasn't decided which ones he wants yet, but proper Warhammer, he says.
Yeah.
Proper Warhammer paint is really expensive. Is it practical to use an artist selection of 12 or whatever acrylic paints to mix your own? Replicating shades would be a problem, but I would just doing a one-off RPG figure rather than an army. To get that?
I wouldn't recommend bog standard artist soil paint, artist acrylic paints for figure painting, just because they're not fine enough. The pigment's kind of not great for that kind of small detail painting. However, I do recommend the Vallejo game color paints. They are really, really good and a bit cheaper than the Citadel paints. They're really, really good. They're designed to be very similar colors to all the Citadel paints, and they're water based and they work on a wet palette, and they're actually really, really good.
Mm.
So
they
the
come in a proper
color.
dropper bottle as well, not the Citadel dodgy, leaky ones.
Yeah, they come in dropper bottles, so yes, you don't waste half the paint. I mean, I do love using my Citadel paints, but I've been using the game color paints from my Imperial Skitter, and my God, they're good. Some of them smell a bit funny, as we found out a couple of weeks ago. Some of them smell a bit like, old folks' homes and potpourri and things, but they're good.
I think in some cases you could get away with using artist acrylics, but you need to be on a bigger scale because, as Fox says, the pigment isn't as good in them. When you get really down on a tiny scale, you're going to lose all the colour. So.
Yeah, and the real thing is as well, you have to keep in mind that artist paints are kind of designed to be done on paper or canvas. They're not really designed to go onto plastic or primer as much as much as model paints are. Model paints have polyurethane in them as well, the acrylics, so they're a bit more flexible. They're a bit better over curved and irregular surfaces, and they'll self-level a bit better. Artists' acrylic paints doesn't really matter if they don't self-level, because painting is a three-dimensional thing when you're doing a picture, but model making paints tend to be designed to dry as smooth as possible and with as few brush marks as possible. So yeah, if you're not keen on the Citadel ones, give the game colors a go. Vallejo game color. There's also Vallejo Air, which are also very good, and the regular Vallejo paints. They've got a huge range, but they are really, really good.
Yeah, there's quite strange colors in that game range. It's very similar to the Warhammer type. Good.
However, the one weak part of the game color range are the golds. You might fare better with some of the AK Interactive golds for those. They're fine. They have a weird surface tension thing going on. So some of the I think the AK golds might be a little bit better, easier to brush with. Don't try brushing with Tamiya paints though.
Yeah. But if you're looking at getting some more of the more expensive paints, when you buy your cheaper paints, buy a single pot of the better quality paint and just build up your stock like that. Buy it as you need it, one at a time, and just build it up. You soon have a good collection.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't forget, of course, if you're just painting our figure, you don't have to stick to the official colour scheme. You could just base it on 5 or 6 colours and mix them all together. You could also, if you really wanted to, just get yourself a red, white, and blue, and a black, and mix your own colours as you go along, which is even cheaper. Theoretically. Although you might have more fun with the actual wash products than making your own washes, but yeah.
Jamie Bone has a question. It says, does anyone know where to get model cricket figures? He's talking to 1/48 scale. I know wModels haven't got any in stock at the moment, but ask them, and if anyone can get them, they might well be able to. People have said in the chat about it might be sort of model railway figures, although they're generally not that sort of scale. But
yeah, model railway figures, you probably find some gentleman on cricket gear, I suppose, because there's always that kind of scene in a railway. Yeah. I can't say I've ever seen anything to do with those kind of figures.
Yeah, I've seen cricket figures on model railways, but they're really tiny HO type things.
Yeah, a little
second sort of
44th type scale.
Proper scale, yeah.
Yeah, proper man scale.
Tony Blackwell says Subutio do a cricket game, which they do, yeah. You could adapt those figures.
He says, yeah, he wanted to make a diorama of a cricket game and take it to his cricket team for display in the pavilion.
That's a good idea. Need a big area though for a cricket game, wouldn't you?
I mean, the other option, of course, is just to get some generic civilian figures and do some modding to them.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get a normal guy and turn his gun into a cricket bat or something.
Yeah, no, I meant like civilian figures. You can get like 1/24 scale civilian figures and things. You could do a bit of modding with putty or plastic card, but that'd be quite a lot of work. So
people are talking about pizza already.
Yay!
Pizza. Yeah, I'm still waiting for my delivery. Yep.
They
might have sent it to your new house.
Yeah, well,
you've probably got 20 pizzas sitting there waiting for you.
Luke has asked a question about will my priority be setting up the new bedroom or the workshop? I think it'll be the bedroom first. Set up the bedroom, crash out in there and build the workshop at your leisure.
See, I'd say differently. I'd say you can sleep anywhere. Get the workshop set up.
I think so.
Unless there's somebody else to consider, in which case you have no choice but to do the bedroom.
Well, then again, if there's somebody else to consider, they can do the bedroom.
That's true.
Because you'd probably do it wrong.
Yeah, because you don't want them doing the workshop.
I'm thinking if I went straight in the workshop, I'd end up sleeping on a hammock in the workshop.
That's all right.
Yeah,
you can sleep
I
anywhere.
can't see the problem. Yeah,
you can sleep anywhere, but you can't make a model if you've not got a workshop or a workspace.
Yeah,
Then you get doing it in the kitchen or the living room.
Like sleep in a hammock, yeah. So.
And if it does come to the argument of, I want to do the workshop, no, you've got to do the bedroom, you can say, well, look, you don't like me doing the models in the kitchen or the living room or the bathroom or anywhere else. So
just start spilling paint on the furniture downstairs.
Yeah.
So. Then you'll get to sleep on the couch in the garden. So Zadster asks, can you use Alclad 2 paints on miniature figures, on minifigs? Now he says minifigs, so does he mean miniatures as in tabletop miniatures, or does he mean minifigs as in Lego? But the answer is, yeah, you can use Alclad paints on anything. You can use any paints on anything, basically. Any model making paints will work on anything, pretty much. You can use Alclad paints wherever you want. Just keep in mind, if they are tabletop figures, so you're going to be handling them and using them in a game, Alclad are not the most durable of paints, so you would have to gloss them or varnish over them to protect them. And if you gloss them, you're going to kill the shine a little bit, so you might need to use something like the AK Interactive Gauzy, which doesn't really diminish it too much, or consider alternatives. If you're not going to handle them, that's fine. Just go ahead.
Yep.
What else we have?
Watch out. We'll talk about pizzas. Northwest Modeler says Fox still looks like a Special Forces operative. It's not what I would have said.
Tier 1. He also says She Who Must Be Obeyed has just bought him a 3D printer. Cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't think I'm ready for a 3D printer yet.
Somebody actually asked me the day if I was going to get one, and my response was, they are awesome, but for the kind of domestic 3D printer I could afford, the quality just isn't there.
Yeah,
and I'm far too lazy to print something out and have to spend a day cleaning it all up and get rid of all the print lines. When they get to kind of industrial level quality, then I'll be all over that. But right now, they are neat, but I wouldn't. It's just not there. I mean, Chris very kindly did make me my little Elite Dangerous spaceship, which is really beautiful. But of course, I didn't get around to sanding it all, and I just painted it. So they are fun, but I wouldn't want to spend that much money on something that I'm not going to have. I'm not in the budget range for like the £3,000 or £4,000 ones, so that's not going to happen.
Personally, for me, they'd be like a kitchen gadget. When you see on TV, you see a kitchen gadget and you think, wow, that's great. I must have that. I must try that. I must get one. And you get it home and you do your eggs or your bacon or whatever in it, and then eventually it gets put in the back of the cupboard and never seen again. I think
do you mean like every Betterware product my mum ever bought?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and then it would eventually fall out of favour and just sit in the corner gathering dust. So, I think, as yet, no. Unless they just press a button and it prints something out. I don't think I'm...
Yeah, I mean, I got mine, 6 months ago now. And, yeah, for the first week it was running constantly. And now it goes on occasionally if there's something I see that looks cool or I want to make. But as Fox says, the price and quality are still wrong.
They're kind of really, because you're printing on the spooled stuff. They're kind of still grainy, and it's like you can get the ones where it's a dip tank type thing where it comes out of the lake of goop, and it's like the resin things, but they're so expensive right now.
Yeah. The price and the quality are all fluctuating. The price is going down, the quality is going up. So at some point there'll become a point where you think, yes, I want to go for that. Yeah. But I tend to be an early adopter for lots of tech and stuff, so I thought I'd go for it then, and I've been happy with it.
I mean, it also depends what you're going to print. If you're printing, say, lots of organic shapes and figures and things that you can easily sand down and like solvent down to get them smooth, that's fine. But if you're printing like the little spaceship that Chris printed for me, of course, it's got loads of little fine detail on it, but you can't do anything to get rid of the step marks because you'll get rid of all the detail. So it's like you kind of got the rock and the hard place. So. I'll probably get one day, but when they're, because if you can have great fun printing things and components and bits and spares, so they are handy for that. But I think at the moment I'm too spoilt on the quality of actual kits. Yeah. I'm far too lazy to spend a day trying to get down the steps and the grain and the print marks and stuff.
Yeah,
I kind of want it to be like top-notch quality.
You can probably equate them to the video camera that we used to get years ago that was as big as the box. And now you get them like that. You get the video cameras now like that, or even just on your phone now.
Yeah.
The quality, the price, and the size, and everything will just come down and down and down until they're probably going to be like microwaves or something. Everybody will have one in the house somewhere.
But it does depend what you can do with it. There's loads of people that have 3D prints and absolutely adore them. And, Adam's got one. He loves it because the little stuff he prints out is really quite big, really big, chunky things. And he likes to get them and prepare them and sand them and clean them down. I just haven't got the patience for that. Yeah. But you can get beautiful results out of 3D printers. Don't get me wrong. It just takes a bit of work to get them clean.
Yeah. They're great. Yeah, they're great. But just for me, at the moment, no, not for me. But yeah, in the future, yeah, I'll get that.
Dave Barker says Fox's mum's going to come up and give you a clip round the ear now because you said about spending stuff on Betterware and things.
Yeah, I think Betterware have gone bust now, haven't they? So they're gone anyway.
Oh, they used to do some great little pots for doing your beans in the microwave.
I think everything we ever bought of Betterware got used once and either didn't work at all or just got used once.
They have some good cleaning products as well.
Yeah, but you've still got it, haven't you? Because you haven't used it.
Yeah, it is. It's up the sink. I'll find it when we move. Michael Jacobin said he's going to buy a base for his Hercules as he's building it with the rear doors and ramp open. I see wModels sell them. Yeah, they do those coastal bases, don't they? Ideal. I see the coastal bases are doing 3D bases now, the way you can have like an aircraft sat outside a hangar. Not only does it have the base, the floor that it stands on, it's got a picture of the hangar behind it, so you can do display.
That's actually one thing that I would use a 3D printer for. Actually, thinking about it, is things like bases and dioramas.
Yeah,
because think about it. Let's say you're making a diorama with some rocks and hills and things, and do all that work, or you could just 3D print it and then add all the texture and mud and everything else on the top. So that's actually probably a good use for a 3D printer.
Yeah, but again, that might depend on if you've got to model it in a 3D software and then take 4 days to print it. So
that's right. 3D modeling isn't actually that hard, I used to do stuff in 3D Studio Max years ago. I was modeling like muscle cars and stuff. It's actually not that hard.
Yeah, that's another thing that gets me stumped in modelling on a computer screen. So, yeah, if the guys have got them, brilliant.
We'll just narrow that down to just be computer screens, Ted.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Computer. I've got a picture on my confuser. I can't get to the image on terminus.
Last week when I showed Fox how to control his camera, this week he had to show me how to control it myself. So.
True, I can't deny that. I've closed down my camera control, so I can't do funny zooming now either.
I could do the zoom in.
Actually, I might be able to. Let's see if I can do it without breaking my existence.
Oh dear, everything's going to get broken.
Yeah, it's going to fall over now. You watch. Let's see if I can do this. I have to look round my camera to get to my camera. There we go. All good.
Ooh. Is it working? Where's it gone?
I'm still there, don't worry. Ain't gone nowhere. Gone out of focus. Look at that.
You locked it. Oh, I thought you were going to be stuck out of focus now.
Huh? Oh no, it's not zoomed in. Live.
Yeah.
Yes, we're there again this week. It's zoomy silly Zoom time now.
Adrian David says, "What date does Ted move to his new house?"
I don't know yet. We're all ready to go. We've signed all the paperwork and done all the technical and official type stuff. But our buyers, the solicitor, are absolute slow. So yeah, they're holding his solicitors are holding things up because unlike our solicitors, which are all modern and technical and got computers and things like that and do email, his solicitor, I think, is an old man in a grey suit working in a huge book and writing things in very slowly. So yeah, that's what the hold up is. As soon as I know, I will let you all know, and I'll frighten the hell out of these two because they'll have to run the show for a week or two.
Yeah, I'm ill that week.
I'm going to be away. I have bone in my leg. Can't.
So I'll put my holiday request in Yeah, I put my holiday request into Pete, and I'm still waiting for approval for it to come back.
Yeah, you won't get that.
Yeah.
You sent Pete an email with the word holiday in it. He'll have fallen over and having little chest pains and stuff.
Yeah, he's
Like when we said we're going to give a door away, he probably fell off his stool.
checked the rotor to see whether James and John are off. So if they're off, I can't move. So that's it. So that's So as soon as I know, I'll let you know. And then you can all come around my place and have a housewarming.
Yay!
Yay.
Yeah,
Except there's like a 2-hour drive, and then
bring your own food,
and the rest.
your food, your own drink, and your own bed.
Yeah, bring your own camp, your Z bed,
And your house.
and bring somewhere to stay.
Right. What else have we got? I'm still waiting for the wModels mailbag to fill up because we haven't got any questions for this week apart from one Fox has thought of.
Has nobody mailed us some questions? Oh,
They're all slow off the mark this week.
Don't forget, if we ask your question out as part of the, have we got any questions to ask for giveaways from the audience?
No, we haven't yet. No, nothing.
Don't forget, if you put a question for the giveaways and we read it out as the giveaway question, you get a sticker as well.
And there is a good chance that we'll read it out as the giveaway because we haven't got any.
Yeah, so ted@wmodels.co.uk.
wModels.co.uk.
Shop for your stickers.
Yeah, that's it.
We take questions on any subject as long as you provide the answer.
Yeah. And don't forget, of
Hopefully
course, we trust you that you've got the right answer.
Yeah. And you could just make it up and make the answer up because we don't check.
Yeah.
But we do send the people around if it's the wrong answer because we know where you live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave,
If you send us your address for winning the sticker, then we also know where you are, and if we get any complaints, we'll send them. Round to you as well.
Yeah, send the boys around with the sporting equipment. Dave Barker says that's a blooming 7-hour drive for me, Ted.
It's even longer if you come up the coast.
Yeah. Alan says Ted is 30 minutes away from me.
No, it's a bit longer to Preston. It's a couple of hours, an hour at least.
Stream says, question, and this is going to be aimed at me. Question, have you seen the Macross 120 style Valkyrie that's coming out in August, made by Max Factory and edited by Good Smile Company? It's huge. Yes.
I think I always hear Macross and think of motorbikes. But
yeah, I've never actually watched Macross. I've made entirely one Macross kit in my life when I was about 12.
I thought it was makeup.
No.
Oh, that's Max Factory.
More Japanese robot-y stuff, Ted. But nobody wins a sweepstake because it's not the other thing.
Adrian David says, Ted, you have some old questions from
I'm just looking for them.
I'm thinking he probably deleted them, so send them again.
Under the data protection, I can't keep mail.
The thing about the email address is that, of course, it's actually an wModels email address that Ted happens to have access to, so they could clear it out every now and then.
Yeah.
Ted wouldn't know.
Yeah. I thought I found one.
Alan says, not the way I drive, Ted. Lol.
Tony Blackwell says there used to be a Macross department store in Cardiff.
No, it's Matalan. Right, Marty.
Is the original series Enterprise upside down?
No,
I'm impressed that you got the acronym there.
Yeah. The Reliant is, because when they designed the Reliant, it was actually that way up with the nacelles at the top. And it was supposed to be that way up until they flipped upside down and was like, that looks really cool. I know many things about Star Trek.
Dave says he sent you another question.
Right, I found it.
Because he wants another sticker, apparently.
I told him there's a sticker in the post.
Many, many stickers on the way to Dave.
Yes, yeah. He's been unbanned from having stickers. There's a sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a sticker shortage, and it's because of Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is about 2 hours from you, Ted.
If you win a sticker this week, we'll get Dave Barker to send you one of these.
Jerry Morse says, what's on the under the starship in Close Encounters?
Los Angeles. It's the Los Angeles skyline. If you're asking questions to ask later on, it needs to have an answer, but you need to email it to Ted, not in chat, because we'll use them later to do the giveaways. So send Ted the question and the answer to ted@wmodels.co.uk, and then we'll
not that we mind answering questions that.
Yeah, no, we're quite happy to do that
for sure. But yeah.
Yes, it was the skyline of Los Angeles at night. I know many random things, don't I?
I thought it was that mashed potato mountain thing.
No, the mothership. They took a shot of like the LA skyline, all the twinkling lights, and just turned it upside down and mapped it onto the ship.
Oh, right, okay. Michael Jackman says he sent you one, Ted, with my address when you won his mug. Yeah, but he slept since then.
I've just found it, and actually, I've just found that question, and it's quite a coincidence because I watched a program on that last night. Michael Jackman, I know what it's about.
Did you get the answer right?
Is it a question we can read out on live telly, Ted? Is that what it is? Is it suitable for a family audience?
Yeah, no, it was the other program you watched as well.
Dave Barker says, can somebody else ask a question as he's got to go to bed soon?
Yeah, early start in the morning for Dave back.
Has he got to get his big chopper out and his boning tool?
Yeah, so I think we've got some questions that we can certainly be going on with, but we're always happy for more. You never know, because if it could come to a lucky dip, couldn't it? As who questions get picked out if we get too many.
Yeah. Don't forget, of course, obviously ask questions for us three in the chat. Treat the chat apart from like being in the pub with all your mates, treat it like a Reddit AMA. So ask us anything. It doesn't have to be about model making. You could ask us about our favorite fruit,
banana,
what color our shoes. Just ask us anything, because we depend on you to give us the things to talk about. Otherwise, this will be a really quick show where we just show you what's in store.
Yeah, so, remember, it's your show. We do this for your benefit, for whether you want to ask questions about modelling or just want to chill and sit down with us running in the background while your props at the bench or while the wife's watching Coronation Street or something like that. You've got your earphones in.
Just think of it as like some blokes sat round in the pub, blokes and girls sat round in the pub, having a bit of a gas. All the silly questions get asked in the pub. So,
speaking of pubs, we've got a very nice malt on sale on the boat. So if you're up at Windermere, you want a trip on the Windermere Lake Cruises, come on the Swan. We've got a very nice single malt for sale on special offer.
Never mind that though. What about proper man's beer? Do you have you got any proper ales on the boat?
Got Shipyard Pale Ale. That's quite
IPAs are all right, but what about proper dark with twigs?
We've just got Jennings, because Jennings is a local brew to us.
Yeah. Wait, who's the other brewery up in where I used to be, which was Ulverston and what?
Hartley's.
No, there was another brewery around there.
It was taken over by.
Wasn't a Hartley's there?
I might have to try alcohol at some point. I hear it's quite nice.
Yeah, try proper man's beer though, not this fizzy lager nonsense.
Yeah, I can't do like it. Although there's some nice, there's some like lagers are all right on a sunny day, but just the one. But again, they get full of gas.
Yeah, if you're in a curry house, you have to have fizzy lager. You can't have because that's all you get. But then it's proper Japanese or Chinese beer, so that's fine. But like your Stellas and your Fosters and your can't be doing all that nonsense.
We had some Japanese on talk about Japanese who come and try our beer. I want dark. They come to the bar, dark beer. Dark beer. Their English is somewhat lacking. Dark beer. You're all right. So you give them a pint. You give them a pint of Jennings. They take a sip and leave it because they can't.
Yeah. Wait, so I need to hang around the bar to get all the free beers?
Yeah.
Just throw them away, wouldn't you? How about that?
Yeah, that's it. If you're on the boat, just come down after the Chinese do, and they'll leave you a beer.
Do you not like that beer, sir? Never mind. There you go, Fox. Oh, do you not like yours either? There you go, Fox. Just sweep me up off the deck late at night, and I'll be fine.
Yeah, Adrian, I've got your question. Thank you. I did find the other one as well. It might be a bit, but we could use that one.
Donald McKenzie has an actual model making question.
Oh God!
He asks, "What's the best paints for Aztecing on the 350 Enterprise?" I've never tried it, so I don't know.
You want paints that can really deal with being masked, whether you're using vinyl masks, which can be hit or miss as to whether they rip all the paint off or not, or making your own masking, which it can be very good, but it takes a long time and it's really fiddly. So be prepared for a long run. I've done it with Tamiya paints, and Tamiya paints are really tough and hardy. They're really good. Or lacquer paints, which are some of the toughest paints you're going to get. So, like, if you're familiar with some of the lacquer brands, like Tamiya is technically a lacquer, but it's kind of not a lacquer, but it's tough. Or you've got things like Gaia Notes, Mr. Colours, the not the aqueous hobby colours, but the other ones, they're lacquers. And others that I can't remember off the top of my head. They're going to be the best bet. So things like Tamiya acrylics or lacquers. But bear in mind, if you're using lacquers, you must have a respirator. You must have some kind of extraction to spray in. And you must, when you finish spraying, just leave the room for an hour because they are horribly toxic. And if you've got other people in the house, they won't appreciate the smell. So do it in a well-ventilated room, always wear a respirator.
That's what I'm going to have in the new spot. I'm not going to have any extraction for a while. So,
which ship did you say it was?
1350 Enterprise.
Do we know which Enterprise?
No.
If it's Enterprise, if it's anything like Next Gen onwards or Reliant, and you want that particular blue color, to me, a light blue is actually quite a close match. You have to put a little bit of white in it, but to me, I don't know this because I painted a Reliant. To me, a light blue is quite a good match if you like it a little bit. And I would recommend, if you do use vinyl masks for your Aztecing, like the Aztec dummy masks, get the base coat down, seal the base coat with a varnish, so that when you put the vinyl on, it's going to reduce the risk of it ripping all the paint off. Because I've seen so many Aztec patterned kits get destroyed because they put the primer on, they put all the base coats on, they put the masking on for the Aztec pattern, they paint it all on, they take the masking off, and it rips all the paint underneath off.
It says it's the 1701 motion picture.
Oh, the refit.
The original. That'd be the refit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the refit. So yeah, in that case, then you're looking at pearlescent paints. And I'm not sure who does pearlescent paints, because the way they did the motion picture Enterprise with different shades of white, but some of them they just sprayed a pearlescent coating over some of the panels, so it was the same color, but it had a slight twinge to it because it was slightly pearlescent. It wasn't a different paint; it was just slightly pearlescent. If I remember correctly, it was a slightly pearlescent, like clear coat over some of the panels that gave it that different reflectivity. So you might want to look into pearlescent paints, but they will be lacquers because they'll be probably automotive. Or you could just do different shades of greys and whites. And in fact, one thing you could do, if you can't get pearlescent stuff, because you don't need to be that accurate, you could just mix up your matte and your satin finishes. So do some of the panels, like do your base colours, matte varnish it to protect the paint, get your Aztec decals or your stickers or whatever you're going to use, get that on, do the next coat, slightly different colour of white, but then try a satin coat over those, and you'll get that different variation between the matte panels and the satin panels when the light hits them. They're very similar colours, but will have a different reflectivity. I hate making Star Trek kits. I used to love making them when I was a lot younger, but now I'm older. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing a Star Trek kit now.
Just going on about Star Trek. Somebody's been emailing me. Gerwin Moores. He said there's an upside down R2D2 glued to the ship. Was that a question we asked about what was underneath the starship before?
I don't know.
There may well be. They often they put in little Easter eggs and things all over bits from different ships, don't they?
And I think he's confirming about what you said. The workshop hung the carved model of the Enterprise for Gene Roddenberry upside down in the boardroom. The producers loved it, so stuck it that way, and it's that way as we know it today. Oh, well, there we go. Right, yeah, all right. The questions are coming in thick and fast. Right, sorry, I spoiled the track there, I think.
Right, Scott Sutherland says the gross model making a skipper tour of Orkney starts tomorrow. While you're there, I know you live there, but while you're doing your exploring about, I've been going back onto the tugs that I've been building.
Can I just interrupt for 1 second? I just accidentally deleted a comment by Alan when I meant to delete someone else. So sorry, Alan, I wasn't deleting your comment.
Yeah, I think what you've probably done, you've probably deleted the same one.
Yeah, I noticed that the chat's gone a bit crazy with.
Yes, there's been a few silly people in the chat.
Yeah,
I don't know why Alan's timed out. Let me untime out him. Or can you time out him, please, Ted?
I'm trying to see if we give me that option. Hang on.
No, I don't know that we can.
Alan, you got caught in the crossfire. Apologies.
Yeah.
We're all jumping on comments.
No, we can put him in a timeout, but I can't untime out. We just have to wait. Sorry.
It's all gone wrong.
Yeah, the the comment that we were deleting was above you, Alan, and as I've done it, Fox has done it as well, but
It's shuffled up.
moved up, so he's done you instead.
Apologies. It's all gone
Anyway,
wrong.
yes, so I'm back painting the tugs. I've been priming the little bits that I've got to put on the decks and things. So while you're there in Orkney, if you see lots of tugs, take pictures and send them to us so I can get some more reference pictures of tugs and weathering and really old knackered ones, please.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, we're back.
If we muted everybody in chat, that'd be great.
I don't know. That's the says beam a rescue party down to Northwest Modeler. Paul Davey is one. Paul Davey says, question, at what stage do you fix the decals before the weathering? The answer is before the weathering.
Just before, yeah.
Yeah, do all your decals. Get a varnish on them. It can be gloss or matte. It depends what you want to do. But get them sealed in and then go ahead and do all your weathering. Depending on what you want to do, you don't need to do any more varnishing after that point until the final matte coat, if you need one, or gloss coat.
SpiddyQ8 says he's emailed a question for Ted to ask. I even included an answer. He doesn't say it was the right answer, but an answer. So yeah, that's fine.
Mike Mountain says he's seen 2 huge tugs today.
Yeah, but they were a long way away. You sent a little picture and they're only tiny. You have to get really close.
Chris, he's in Orkney. Everything's a long way away.
No, everything's really close because it's only tiny.
Anyway, stop looking at tugs, Mike Mountain. Go and look at puffins. You have tasks to complete.
Yeah, he's only just got there. The tugs are at the outside. The puffins are in the middle.
Scott's ordered that nice string, especially so he can lower him down the cliffside to get some photos of the puffins.
Photos? Or is he going to hunt one and put one in his back pocket for you?
Yeah. I'll get a box that's on the doorstep like this, moving around. It's like, oh, no. No.
Yeah,
Alan, are you back yet, or has he still got you in timeout? I can't get you out of timeout. I don't think it's
300 seconds. That's 5 minutes, isn't it? So yeah.
Which of us put him in timeout? I don't know who it was. One of us put you in timeout. We were all jumping on Ne'er-do-well comments at the same time, and it went wrong.
Yeah. Alan, send us your address. We'll send you a complimentary sorry sticker.
By sorry, he means wModels.
Yeah. Mike says I'll go and get them this week, and oh yes, you will, Fox.
Oh. Only if it's house trained and completely adorbs and maybe has a cute voice. And
I assume that the puffin you've got Odo sitting next to you is life size, is it?
I've never seen a puffin, but I guess it's probably about life size. Probably about the right size.
Yeah, Mike, fetch a real puffin back so we can compare it.
Yeah, or just measure one.
Although again, there is a plus side to it, because as we all know, puffins eat Orcadian fudge. That's their entire diet. So you'd have to also bring me a whole mess of Orcadian fudge.
Tony Blackwell says no, puffins are a lot smaller.
Maybe they're more like this size.
Oh, that's
More like that size.
No, I think they're probably that size.
If they were that cute, I'd have a box of them.
They're this size and just as fluffy.
Yes.
Question from Paul Davey. Sorry, guys. So prime, shadow coat, then decals. It's new to model painting. Prime it. Paint it your base colour. Do your camouflage and things like that if you're painting an aircraft or anything like that. Coat of a clear coat, a gloss coat, put your decals on. You don't have to gloss coat all over, by the way. You can just gloss coat in the areas where your decals are going to go. Put decals on. Then another coat of protective varnish and then do your weathering over that. Basically, it's as easy as that. Alan's back, by the way.
Yeah, he said Hollocks. Welcome back.
Yeah, Mike's going to the fudge factory apparently tomorrow.
Oh,
so.
I wish I'd really given Mike like 200 quid in cash to put all that fudge back.
I don't they use different cash up there though, don't they? You'd have to get it all changed.
I don't know. Is it it's funny exchange like £200 is about $1 million
Orcadian
space bucks? Just to go back to the thingy question, it does depend what you're making as well. Don't forget, if you're making, a shiny motorbike, then you're probably not going to have any weathering on it if it's a shiny motorbike. So you just do all your base colors, gloss, decals, and gloss. Don't forget though, for people out there that don't realize this, have a think about what your model is going to be doing once you've finished it. Because the traditional thing is gloss, decal, gloss, all your weathering, matte coat. If you've got weathering, it's probably not going to be shiny. However, you don't actually have to do a final matte coat. Because, and I've learned this, because what you do is when you get a model and it might be a mixture of, like, say you built a tank or something, it's a mixture of matte bits and you've got some shiny metal parts and you've got all these different textures, and then when you matte coat it, everything just goes matte. And what I've learned is if you've got a model that's a mixture of matte and, say, satin or glossy bits, so you've got some bits aren't shiny, some bits you want to be metallic and shiny, what I've learned is you can either gloss coat, decal, gloss coat, and then once it's all, because that protects everything, do any weathering, and then if there's anything left that needs to be matte that isn't matte, because it's all under a gloss coat, you can just use a matte medium. With AK Interactive and Vallejo do them. They're just basically paints without any pigment in. You can just brush that over and it will take the shine away instead of spraying on a matte coat, which may spray over some of the shiny bits. As long as you're never going to handle the model, you don't actually have to finish with a matte coat. As well, if you're doing weathering, say you build a tank and you've got your gloss coat, you put your decals on, you've got your gloss coat, and then you do some weathering with oil paints and enamels, you might find the oil paints and the enamels actually make the model matte enough. And having little bits of satin here and there where there's been less weathering kind of makes it more realistic. And if you're going to put it in the cabinet and never handle it, you could just leave it like that and let the weathering layer make it matte. So don't think you have to finish off with a matte coat, because you don't. Handy tip for the day, folks.
Right. Well, while you're at handy tip mode, David Fox, I assume no relation.
Hollocks. I like that word.
He's been watching videos on making ground cover from real plants and trees. Keep going on about bleaching it first, but don't go into any details about it. Has anyone got any tips? I don't know. I tend to do very tiny scale, so I can't use real stuff because it's just massive. So,
yeah, I'm assuming bleaching it would kill off any organisms that might live in it and also stop it rotting, but I don't know.
Yeah, there is a way of doing this. I don't believe it's bleach. It's another sort of a preservative, and I can't think where it is off the top of my head at the moment. I did try it once. When I did some some camouflage on a 1/35 scale tank. I would show you it, but
it's in a box.
It's in a box. Yeah. It's in a box. I'm on a horse.
You'll find that when you go out to scarify, is it scarify the lawn, and you rake all that moss out of the lawn? That's brilliant as camouflage, sort of bracken
netting stuff.
Yeah, that stuff that they fill hanging baskets with, that moss is brilliant for representing sort of bracken and heather that you would find on the moors, and a tank would probably chuck around its body to look good. There is a way of preserving it, and I think you need to go to somewhere like a YouTube video on preserving flowers, because that's the stuff that they use. I can't think of it. It's some chemical. I can't think of its name, but it's not. It's certainly not bleach.
You've got a couple of comments in the chat there. Zadster says hydrogen peroxide, and Tony Blackwell says peroxide.
That will bleach.
So it might be one of them.
Yeah, that will bleach it colour-wise. I mean, I was debating the other day whether to go and like dig up some soil from the garden, and actually just bop it in the oven for like a period of time to dry it out and also kill anything that might be living in it. But the other reason you want to do something to like stuff from the garden is to make sure it doesn't rot. So you could theoretically, I mean, it's probably a good idea, but then again, I don't know why you couldn't, for some things, you could just dry them out, like warm them in the oven gently so they dry out and all the water comes out and they just have like dried flowers and dried leaves. But I don't know.
Yeah, some things change colour when they're dried, but I think this preservative, whatever it is, I can't think of what it is. They just leave it in a jar with it for a week or two, but it dries it out. Probably a dehydrator would do the same thing.
Yeah. Right. Adrian David has a question. Says he's thinking of building a Bandai Star Wars figure. Which one do you recommend? And Donald Mackenzie says all of them, and I've got to agree with that one.
And my answer would be yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, any of them, they're all good.
Yep.
They're fun, but pick your favourite or pick your least favourite and practice on that, and then do the favourite.
The only thing I know is apparently the Darth Vader is quite hard to do because of all really bad seam lines, and you've got the different textures of black. Whereas Boba Fett is awesome because you can weather it.
Lawrence Sculpt was the first time in chat tonight as well, by the way. So welcome to Lawrence.
Any of the droids are good fun.
Yep. Also, can I just point out that Lawrence Sulphur also has a Stargate logo as his icon. So excellent. He's got an Apophis sigil.
He does.
Kree Jafar Kree. So I instantly like Lawrence Sculfer because he's got Stargate reference. Good man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Take it you're catching the bots, are you, Fox? I missed them.
Yeah, I was just about to do that.
Yeah.
Just as well I didn't, because I'd have caught Lawrence, I think.
Yes, I'm assuming they're bots, but if not, the people that are being silly, you'll just be kicked out on the next time. So we'll just kick you out. So stop being a fool.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's
Jafar Kree, says Lawrence Sculfer.
This is a family-friendly show, folks, by the way. So yeah, if you're not bots and you're just being stupid.
I thought you said Jaffa Cake, but no, he didn't.
No. Take my tay, Lawrence, is what you meant to say. Take my tay. We're just going to talk about Stargate now. You guys carry on with me, and Lawrence is going to talk about Stargate all night.
Jamie Bone says, question, what is the easier way to paint model figure faces?
Carefully.
What scale are you talking about? If you're doing my scale at 144, you don't paint the faces because they're too tiny. But
I think you could start sort of working on face painting from about 1/35th up. I'm doing it on the 148 scale submarine. There's not a lot of detail there to worry about. It's more getting in that scale. You're just looking at shadows.
he says 135th.
1/35th. Yeah, you can get in a bit more detail with that. You can do eyes on 1/35th figures. Personally, I don't bother. Some people do, but I find them sometimes if it's not done right, they tend to look pop-eyed. It's not the easy way to do it. So yeah, just take your time. Have a look around at YouTube again and see how it does it. Lots of people do it in lots of different ways. Fox and I do it with acrylics and a wet palette.
Absolutely, you want a wet palette. Yeah.
A lot of other people do it with oils and they blend on the model, so they're getting the different colours. Get yourself a set of. I haven't got them because they're in a box.
Yay.
Get yourself a set of flesh tone paints. That way, it
likes his flesh tones.
And just have a go at it.
I bet he knows exactly what box they're in.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many different ways to do it. I would say, like Ted says, go on YouTube. You might want to watch how people that paint tabletop miniatures do it as well, because they're kind of like Warhammer stuff and some of the other tabletop games. They're kind of 1/35th scale, sort of almost, and you'll actually learn a lot from the guys that paint those. There's that kind of way, which is a quick and easy way. Or there's the people that spend a week painting a face with oil paints to get the super realistic. It depends what you want to get. The quick and easy way is start off with a dark color, like a warm reddy brown. Then apply a wash of some sort that's, again, a warm fleshy red color. So that just goes into the recesses. Then have at least 2 or 3 getting lighter as they go up flesh colors and just build up the highlight areas. It's kind of hard to explain in just saying that. But yeah, go have a look around for people that paint like tabletop miniatures and stuff, because you'll find a lot of useful tips in those.
Yeah. Important newsflash: Michael Jackman's pizza's arrived
every week. If we did one of these every night, would you have a pizza every night and have a coroner at the age of 35?
yeah. Can we have a commission with Domino's or something like that?
Tony Blackwell says the chroming on the Bandai figures is hard to remove. I'll paraphrase that. It's mechie plating. It's easy to remove if you're in the UK, use either bleach or oven cleaner. If you're in the US, you can use purple power or I think clean green. Just put the sprue in there, leave it for a few hours, go with the toothbrush, take it off, done.
Adrian David says, "What's in store?" We'll get there. We haven't. Remind Ted close to the end if he misses.
We've not even been going for an hour yet. We've been going for an hour, haven't we?
Somebody's already spoiled a surprise about what's in store. This week's what's in store is, you've guessed it, have a look back in the chat. Yeah.
He said bleach didn't work, but oven cleaner did.
Yes, I found that oven pride it takes about 3 hours to strip Bandai plating. Bandai plating is different to things like your Revell kit, car kit plating, but they're all essentially the same thing. Bandai plating, I think, is electrostatically applied. It's called mechie plating. And it's a bit different to the kind of plating you get on car kits with the silver bumpers and chrome trim. But it's essentially, it all comes off. It's a bit tougher to remove than your average Revell bumper or wheel hub. But it's all kind of the same stuff. Oven cleaner or that kind of stuff.
I must admit, the 3PO I built, I didn't remove the plating. I just left it as is and built it, and it looks good. It's fine. They often undergate quite nicely, so you don't need to worry too much about nub marks and things.
Yeah. Also, if bleach doesn't work, try, and it has to be a specific thing. It has to be Dettol. I don't know if you get it in the US, but in the UK, use Dettol. That will take pretty much most paints off anything.
Yeah, the brown one. I don't think there is a brown and a white one. I don't think the white one works as well. The clear one, watercolor.
Yeah.
I was watching. Strange enough, Spiddy Crate, who's in the chat, actually taking enamel paint off a kit with Dettol the other day.
Lord Barkley III says the weekly question could be guess his topping. I assume he's talking about pizza. So,
just going back a few moments to when somebody was asking about drying plants. Luke from the US sent an answer saying in the US they have a powdered laundry soap called borax. It's made with borax, hence the name. It's great for.
That was imaginative, wasn't it? What's it got in it? Borax. Should we just call it borax?
Yeah, have a box of borax. Yeah, I think that is the chemical I was thinking of, borax. It's great for maintaining the colour and flexibility of the dried plant, so you can try some of that. Yeah, I'm sure there's some stuff out there. Go to drying plants videos and things like that.
Spiddy Crate says yes, it works great even on lack of paint. Spiddy Crate, is it the white Dettol or the brown Dettol? I can't remember. I think it was the clear stuff, although yours was kind of brown because it had all paint in it. But
Tony Blackwell said it'd make your house smell like a hospital for weeks.
Yes, smell like somebody thrown up on the carpet.
Lawrence says Tony Helgen35 did a vid on removing the chrome plating from 3PO.
Yes, he used
Adrian David says car kit plating, he uses Coke, the drink.
Could do. It's waste of Coke though. Don't try and drink it after.
Don't drink it after, no.
Yeah. The thing you got to be wary of is using anything residue it might leave behind. And Coke is quite corrosive, bizarrely, comparing it to oven cleaner and Dettol. But Coke can be quite corrosive to some plastics.
Cool. Right, shall we go and have a look at what's in store? Because
yay! Now we have a theme tonight, Ted, don't we? He says keying something up on the phone.
I wonder what he's keying up on.
Go on, Ted, carry on.
Yeah, right. This week we're going to have a look at what's in store. We try to have a theme every week, and it usually gets harder and harder to think of a theme.
What about the theme?
Last week we really sort of stretched things a bit, trying to find things night orientated. Night as in silver armor and metal armor and horses and things like that. But this week, because of the recent sort of shaking of hands between North and South Korea, we thought that North Korea might be having a sale of its missiles. You know, one careful owner. So we'll be selling the missiles off. So we're going to have a look in the store and see what wModels have got in the way of missiles and rockets.
Have you looked it on you, Ted?
No, we haven't locked it on me.
Have you locked it on you, Ted? Ted, lock it on you.
Lock it on me. Right,
Infinity. Bow.
Yeah. Ooh, we got there in the end.
Yeah, what about now? Have you locked it on you now?
Yeah, it's just locked on me and we're sharing, aren't we? Yeah.
Is it locked on you, Ted?
It is.
We know it's sharing. Yay. We can't tell if it's locked or not. So.
Yeah, just behave yourself. Sit down and shut up at the back. Yeah, so we're going to look at rockets and missiles and things. If they're not pointing at us, we have them pointing at them. This is the Trumpeter Russian. That menu. This is the Trumpeter 135 Russian 4K51 Rubets coastal anti-submarine missile. Yeah, it looks a bit like a cruise missile, that one, doesn't it?
Hmm. So,
yeah, I guess not only the missiles, you're getting a wagon or a delivery sort of system in these. $89.95 from Trumpeter, down from £110. That's a bit of a saving off that one. Big box, as usual.
I like big box and I cannot lie.
Yeah. So you're going to get a lot of kit. Let's see if we can find some pictures of it. There's that one. I'm assuming you can make it either in the ready-to-fire mode or the transport.
Ted, you're being called out to make it bigger, but for some reason your screen share has been 4:3 for the last couple of weeks. So that's actually as big as it gets, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know if it's been bigger before.
Probably the resolution on your monitor is probably
Yeah.
set to like 720 or something.
We shall have a look at that next time. Yeah,
that is actually full screen. It just takes a dump of Ted's screen, but I think Ted's monitor might be in 720p.
Right, we'll have a look at that next time. Because
yes, I'll go through some settings.
Yeah, can you talk me through it, please?
We'll get him fixed, and then he'll be moving, so he won't be here there for a couple of weeks, and he'll forget all about it. And
yeah, he'll have lost it by then.
Yeah, and then when I take it all apart, we'll have to reconfigure it all again. Yeah, so a couple of color callouts for it, paint marking guide. I'm trying to see on the screen now what
I do like those kind of squat, flat Russian missile type vehicles. They are kind of infinitely customizable to make them look kind of Mad Maxy or slightly dystopian post-apocalyptic type look.
Yeah, I don't know if you can quite see it on this, but there seems to be a large radar type system on the front there. Looks like it looks really odd. So that's that one. Any more? No, that's that one. It's closed.
Paul Davey has to scoot off. He says, "Great show as always. Thanks for the great advice."
Yeah.
See you, Paul.
Next, we'll have a look at another trumpeter kit. This is the trumpeter M901 Patriot set. I think this one comes as well with the wagon. I think it comes in a different kit. You can either buy this as the launcher on its own, or you can buy it with the transport wagon as well. I'm sure I saw this one. I was on offer recently. I had looked for it. I can't seem to find it. Patriot, isn't that the one they deployed in Iraq?
They deploy it everywhere. It's the one they've given to the South Koreans, which the North Koreans weren't too happy about.
Yeah,
but they're all friends now. Next week we'll do the theme of deceit and deception. Hopefully not.
Yeah. So next week, wModels might be selling actually the real thing.
Yes, it's army surplus.
Yeah. Pete went to North Korea and bought a lot of army surplus rockets.
I went to North Korea and all I got was this lousy missile launch.
Yeah. You can bring back these as souvenirs from your trip to North Korea.
Well, like worms, disease.
Once again, the colour call outs for that. One thing about Trumpeter, they always give you options for different paints and things, and not just the one. They're usually using Mr. Hobby to be another such.
Trumpeter dude, they do have a lot of exquisite detail in the kit. Is there any photo etch in that one? Do we know? Or
I don't know. I'll just nip through these pictures, see if it shows us any photos of photo etch. But I'm sure there will be. Usually, kits of this size, you've got to find some photo etch in there. Not
always, but there might be a little bit. But they are Trumpeter are very, very good at the very fine detail.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't have any metal parts in this one. Oh, yeah. Three photo etch. It says photo etch parts, 3 pieces. Now, whether that's 3 frames or
3 pieces, 3 tiny pieces.
24 sprues, 640 plus parts, plastic model. So going to be quite a nice little sort of diorama setting there. And if you can manage to get that look of the rocket leaving the launcher, yeah, brilliant. Some lighting, some foam or cotton, something like that. Cracking little model. So that's that one. The next one we've got.
Look at that. That's sweet.
That's very strange.
It's a World War II modern day North Korean missile launch system.
Yeah, I would hate to have been even inside that tank when this rocket set fire. When these fired all these rockets.
Be all right when it's raining, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Or if it's too sunny, yeah, you can shelter under it in the sunshine. A bit of a sunshade there. This is who's this one? This is the Revell kit, the Sherman A1 with a screaming Mimi. I've seen
if I remember rightly, weren't they? I just killed that guy at the same time. You just timed him out. So I'm like, Alan, stand by. You might get booted back to them again. Yeah, wasn't that like the kind of the equivalent system of the German Naval-Werfer, where it was like they just fired them off as rockets and it made that screaming sound?
Could be. I just noticed on this picture here, I don't know if it's big enough for you guys to see, there's actually a driver with his little head poked out.
Is there?
See if we no, there's no more pictures of it, otherwise I'd expand it.
I've always found 1/32 scale to be a bit odd. Now, you're still with us, Alan, don't worry. He does say, "Can we ban the bots?" There's nothing you can do with the YouTube chat until we
catch them when they pop up and try not to give them any notice.
Yeah, you can't really do anything with it. They appear sometime.
Yeah, I think we can. You can remove them, can't we? It's still coming back. Yeah, there's a little driver with his head pops out there. I think he'd be.
He's there going, "Don't fire! Don't fire!
Not yet, not yet.
Don't fire!"
There's that one there. Next one is the lost it. The Tacom 135 V2 rocket. Vital.
Well, read it out, Ted. Go on. You know you want to.
Vitalwagen, a Hanomag included.
Vitalwagen Hanomag. You have to remember, technically, with German, the V is a W, so it's a Wiedelwagen.
Wiedelwagen.
It'd be a Wiedelwagen Hanomag. The V is a W and the W is a V.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a Wagen for your Weedle. I don't know what a Weedle is, but it doesn't sound painful. It does sound painful.
It looks like this is just in its transport position. I'm not sure whether it can be displayed in its ready to launch configuration. I think this needs a little bit more to it than just the missile. So, yep, the first ballistic missile by the Germans. Fired a few over here. So, yep, that's that one.
Alan says, typical North Korean technology.
What's this one? Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that's what we've got for tonight. However, there is one other thing that talking about missiles and rockets. I just wondered if anybody remembers these.
Wow.
Yeah.
Missiles.
Everybody outside the UK will be like, I don't know what that is, but everybody in the UK who's over the age of maybe 30 will be like, oh, I've not one seen.
Yeah, this was our first step into intercontinental ballistic missiles.
I don't remember what the elastic band things are for, though.
So you can go and ping it.
Was it just? Oh, it was just used to throw them up in the air.
No, you put the elastic band at the back. You can't see because you can't see my screen, but you put the elastic band around the back of it, pull it back like a catapult, and go twang. And what it does is it actually bounces off your own thumb, and then you burn your thumb.
Now, I don't think those caps there are the right ones because the caps you used to put in them were the paper ones, weren't they? That came in a little paper tubs. Remember them? Are you old enough to remember them?
Yes. Now here's I said the Americans amongst us and non-UK person. Oh, then Tony says we had them before the plastic caps, so maybe you will. But I'd forgotten all about these till Ted showed me this photograph.
Yeah.
But here's the question that I said this would spawn. Here we go. Which are better, plastic caps or paper caps?
Oh.
Now, I say paper caps are great because you could bang them with a piece of stone on the curb on the road when you were a kid in the 70s and just run a stone down it. However, I used to have a toy gun revolver with, you flip the barrel out and you could get plastic caps they look like a quick loader. So you could just put that out, put another one in, and you got 6 shots then. That was the best thing ever, which is much better than caps on a roll.
Caps on a roll are great because you could also put your caps between, you used to get 2 bolts and a nut and screw them into each other, and you could put your cap in the middle, so you could have a makeshift sort of rocket. And you could throw that at my neighbour's cat.
Griff MJ says cut match heads off and stuff them in.
Yeah. Well, so far, what have we got? We've got Us Yanks had them too, says Sergeant Bones. Caps on a roll, says Goin Moores. Nate Bliss, Fox's finger is the button. Paper caps for Alan. Plastic caps for the chat just moved for Shad Beam. Plastic caps for Louder, says Monkey 555500.
Yeah. I think paper caps are better because you could double load them. Yeah, you could get a bigger bang out of them.
But you couldn't do a quick reload on a revolver.
You could put the whole roll in though. You had the roll of them, and you put that in. And...
Yeah, but you don't have all this little silly bit of paper coming out the back.
You tear that off and throw it in the street.
Yeah, this is going back. When I was a kid, I had toy guns that looked like real guns, and you had like the plastic caps also came in strips, so you could put them in a magazine and go like that. And they were great. This was the 1980s and 70s. It was great. You can't have that now, obviously.
Yeah,
now all the toy guns have got to be bright colours as well, don't they?
Yeah, and they don't do caps anymore. Do caps even exist anymore?
Well, Michael Jackman says Do-Good has got them banned. I think they actually fall under the Fireworks Act.
Yeah,
doesn't surprise me.
But there is nothing. There is nothing quite like that cordite smell that Tony Blackwell says. That cordite smell from caps.
Yeah. Lot of people mentioning the smell.
Yeah.
Gwen Lewis says, "Do you remember Snaps?" Yeah, but they came a bit after caps, didn't they? Caps were always good because when you played Cowboys and Indians or Japs and Commandos, you used to stuff your pockets with them because you could buy a big roll of them.
God, I remember going to the post office around the corner and buying like rolls and rolls and rolls of caps.
You stuff them in your pocket as though you were getting all tooled up to go into war.
Yeah. See, the snap things, they were all right, but you kind of got them and went, bang, that's really great. And then they never got used after that.
Yeah, but were you brave enough to snap them in your fingers?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
By brave, do you mean stupid?
No, they didn't blow your fingers off much.
Yeah, you could you get the paper tape and you could rub your thumb down it, and if you're quick enough, you get with your finger.
Lawrence Sculfer, he of the Stargate appreciation, Jafakri, says you can still get cap guns. I modded one for a cosplay.
Yeah, you can still get the cap guns, but as
you can't get the caps.
Yes,
get those 6-shot type things.
Yeah,
like the quick loaders. But just not as much fun. You could also get a grenade. Do you remember when you used to play Japs?
Whoa! What kind of
Yeah, I think no. There's
you get a grenade that you could put caps in as well. So you pull the pin out and you threw it. And
We've never had that.
You led a sheltered life.
See, my friend did have a mortar, which is basically you put the mortar in. It was like a plastic. It wasn't even foam. This was the 70s. This was plastic. You put it in. And I don't know how it did it, but it involved caps and something, but it went bang, and the mortar went like that, the shell. And it's like, it wouldn't even be illegal now. It wouldn't even be.
Philip Rhodes says you can still buy both types of caps on eBay.
Cool. Alan says he's going to do a PPK on his 3D printer.
Yeah, PPK cap gun. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, make a spud gun. I've not seen a spud gun. I found a spud gun in my garden a few years ago that I must have dropped when I was a kid, and it was like under a foot of ground, and I was like, wow, it still works.
You had your cap gun in one pocket and your spud gun in the other. I think your spud gun was that close quarters? Was that for close combat?
Tony Blackwell said, does anyone remember when you could get 1-to-1 scale model guns out of Walther PPK and a Navy Colt? I had a Luger. It was a working full-size 1-to-1 scale. It had springs and joints.
When you say working,
well, you pulled the trigger and the bullet went at the end. But it actually had the working mechanism inside, true to the original weapon, just made out of plastic. I remember, and I can tell you exactly when I had that because I was sitting in my room building it when the first ever episode of EastEnders broadcast.
When was that?
1985.
85. Yeah.
I don't know why I remember that. I remember working on it.
Is that when they found the dead body?
Nah, but the only thing that disappointed me in those guns were because I was used to play with toy guns. You go outside and play with it, and it fell apart because it's a model, not a toy. So.
I remember my first insight into real guns was when I had a what did you call it? Gat guns. It was an air pistol. But it was called a gat gun. You ever remember it? You used to push the barrel in and put your pellet into the end of the gun. It was a gat gun. Yeah, I think it fired it. I think it fired.
Top 10 apparently.
I think it threw it more than fired it.
Ted locked on you.
Yeah,
apparently.
I unlocked it now.
Okay, good. Yeah, I had an air pistol for a while that looked like a big long semi-auto, and it was like you have to pull it back, and it was like and it fired darts or pellets. It was great for about a week, and then I got bored.
Yeah, I got bored with mine because I remember sitting on the back doorstep with this gat gun, which wasn't very powerful at all, and I took aim at a sparrow sat on the fence, and I fired it, and it was that weak that it hit the sparrow, bounced off its chest, and the sparrow flew off. But I was mortified.
I thought you were going to say the sparrow just turned around and looked at you. It's like, really?
The sparrow turned around and went, "That's not a knife."
Michael Jackerman says you can't really blame them for banning replica guns in today's climate, and
no, but probably. I mean, toy guns over here were kind of cracked down on in the late 80s, early 90s because of
reasons.
Because children can't be exposed to anything really. Well, I think that what we used to get up to as kids now, parents would be just like beside themselves. Like when I was a kid, it was like you went out of the house at say 9 in the morning on a Saturday to go around to your friend's house, and then you went to the local field and you fell out of trees all day. and played with toy guns, and then
Yeah.
just like fell in the brook a few times and got covered in dirt and filth, and went home, fell off your bike.
As long as you're back when the street lights come on.
Yeah, went home, had your tea, went to bed, bruised, battered, bits, twigs sticking out your ears. We loved it, and yet kids nowadays are so mollycoddled. Society is broken. I'm an old man. Get off my lawn.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, as Chris said, you had, as long as you were in before the lights came on. Yeah. And yeah, we didn't have. I think I saw a picture that summed it up on Facebook the other day. It was, today's kids have got iPads and computers. In my day, I ate mud.
Yeah, it's like if you put a child today in front of a tree, they wouldn't know what the hell to do with it. They wouldn't look at that branch that's just out of reach and see it as a complete challenge. They'd be like, "What? It's a tree? What?" Whereas to me and my mates, it'd be like, "I bet I can reach that branch, even though it's that thick and it's 100 feet up, and I've got no understanding of physics. I reckon I can get to that branch." We fell out of trees all the time.
Or you had to climb it because your other mate had thrown your gun or your toy up there.
Yeah. Well, in my local field, we had a set of trees called they were called the ladders, and it was about 8 trees, big old sprucey type things, oaks and stuff, that went along this brook, and you could actually go from tree to tree by going through the branches, and they were called the ladders. And you used to go up there and like with your toy gun and be like, "I can see Germans," because World War II.
Yeah, making dens.
Message from the producers. Oh, really?
Fox's mother's found a box of caps.
Have I got a box of explosives?
Snapping your fingers.
How long have we had this?
Don't show them live. Don't show them live.
We've had these for years. I don't actually go any further because they're like snap it. But I don't know why we've got them. I'm going to put them down carefully there because.
Have you got a bottle of water handy?
Garden firework novelty. Oh, they're modern then. They're not old.
The anti-terrorist team are coming to knock on the door now.
Wow. I don't even know A, why we've got them, B, how Mum knew where they were.
Yeah, but C, you've got builders next door. Think of the fun you can have tomorrow.
Oh yeah. While they're up on the roof, that's not an idea, is it?
Shadbeam says prize giveaway. I'm pretty sure you can't send them through the post.
Lawrence Sculfer, take my tay, Lawrence, says, "Why aren't the criminals painting orange tips on their guns to get away with having them?"
Good idea.
I like that logic.
Oh. Yeah.
Alan at Northwest Modeler says, "I must be old. I shout at the kids even if they even look at my lawn."
Yeah. Thing is, like, there's that gap between when we were kids and we'd go and we'd just play out on the fields, and now we're adults. But kids nowadays have kind of gone through that phase where they wouldn't rubbish your lawn anyway because they're too busy walking like with the phones and iPads. So
yeah, they might mess up your lawn because they're walking over it looking for Pokemon.
Yeah, yeah, there is that. You got a Snigglypuff or whatever it is. I don't know what they're bloody called. Why are your mountains a Jigglypuff? Oh. In fact, if they did that on my lawn, I'd be like, "Oh, cool, really? Let me stop."
Yeah. I know. Tim Beck says our river was so polluted you could walk on the surface.
Yes.
Yeah. Nothing. Yeah. Well,
danger of drowning is non-existent because.
But it had the obligatory shopping trolley in it.
Tim Bick says we used to play on an old coking plant, sticks for guns.
Cool.
Like some older paved me lawn, says Sergeant Bones. I used to swim in the canal, says Alan. You wouldn't want to swim in the canal near us. It's the things in it when I was a kid. There were things in it.
We used to fish in our canal, but I don't think we ever caught anything.
The only time you ever saw fish in our local bit of the Manchester Ship Canal, they were floating on the surface, and that's not a good sign. And even then, we couldn't catch them.
If only we could relive our youth again. If only we knew.
If only. Pondering look.
Spud guns were better.
Spud gun?
Spuds, yes. Yeah, every kid had a spud gun in one pocket, cap gun in the other, and a couple of spuds in the back pocket.
If it wasn't for spud guns, then somebody working in an accident and emergency in the 70s would never have heard the line, "He's been blinded by a potato."
Did you not have a catapult sticking out your back pocket, Ted? I reckon you'd have had a catapult.
No, I didn't have catapult. I was never accurate with the catapult. I tried them. No, it was never great fun of catapults.
I never had one. I tried one once and it hurt my thumb. I went, ah, but I've never had one.
Oh, Lawrence has ruined it. He's got a model question.
Oh, take my tay.
Yeah, above that, though, before we go on to that, Adrian Davis said, who won the gallery? That's next week.
It's next week. The first of every month, which is tomorrow. So next week.
Lawrence says, matte coat or gloss coat when doing streaking, looking at doing an ATAT for his next build. It doesn't really matter because you're going to be doing the streaking over the top of whatever it is you're doing. So gloss coat's easier to work with. If you do a matte coat, then the streaking will actually not streak more, but it will be more apparent because it sort of sticks into the bits of the matte, whereas on a gloss it's sort of shiny. Yeah,
when you come into blend everything in with your streaking, if it's on a gloss coat, you stand a fair chance of wiping it off again. A matte coat, it will stick to the surface a bit better.
Yep.
So, have a go at that. Or try, go in the middle. Try a satin coat.
Joey Moore says, don't forget the Baron sucker arrows.
You know all about bows and arrows, don't you, Chris?
I know about real bows and arrows, yeah. I do some real archery. But
how good are you at real archery? Would you say?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
How good are you?
I like the long distances. I don't like the short, close thing. I shoot things like 100 yards away, which is good fun.
But how good are you with the bow and arrow from the pound shop?
I've got one downstairs. Again, that's close distance. You can't do long distance with that because it just goes.
Do you think they need feathers on the back of the arrows, or is the sucker giving it too much?
The sucker's normally all right, but you got to remember to lick it. Otherwise, it doesn't stick. Phil Kit correctly says next Monday is a bank holiday in the UK.
Well done.
We're still here.
Yeah, we will still be.
We don't get time off.
Yeah, we never sleep.
Do we get double bubble?
No.
We could.
We don't even get bubble.
Once again, when we submit our overtime forms for next week, don't forget to submit your overtime forms for Pete to consider payment. He considers payment. We never get it, but Dutch arrows. David Fox. I've heard of these Dutch arrows. I don't think I've ever played with them.
Spiddy Kate says to Lawrence Tekmate about his streaking. What they're saying is basically satin. Yes, you can also use satin. It's a good mix of gloss. Don't forget, of course, if you do a filter coat first, then that kind of makes the surface matte anyway. And when if you seal your decals, you don't have to use a gloss coat to seal them. You can seal them with a matte coat as long as you've glossed before you put the decals on. What I tend to do is I'll do a gloss coat out of habit, and then I'll do a filter. And then that'll matte it down a bit anyway. So you can do either. Any doesn't matter.
Sorry, I'm just reading some email questions. That was all.
Oh, one other thing as well. If you don't have any decals and you've used acrylic paints, you can actually just do streaking with enamels and oils without actually varnishing it. Handy tip. You can go from acrylics to enamels and oils straight away without varnishing. As long as they're fully cured, you'll be fine.
Can you hear something?
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I can hear something.
It's in the box.
Is it the bat phone?
Yeah, I think he'll ring back.
I thought you unplugged it.
It's in the box. I don't know how it's working.
It's Pete's magical powers.
Oh, well.
It won't be anybody important.
Well, you must be able to do a giveaway then.
He'll be saying give away that massive.
Yeah, that'll be what it is. Yeah.
He'll be saying to give away that. He'll be asking you to give away that like 1/16 cell Abrams from Tamir. Or the big Dora or something.
I'm sure he'd let us know if he didn't mean that.
He might ring back a bit louder.
Pete. Yeah, I think it's in here. There must be a giveaway. Should we go do a giveaway?
I can hear him from here. He's saying, "Don't give away the big Abrams." love of God.
Yeah. When the winner sent the email last week, I've won Dora. Him and John had a heart attack.
Yep, we can hear the sirens from here.
I don't have to pack that box.
Sergeant Bone says, I'd take that, Abrams. Yeah, you would.
Yeah, it must mean we could do a giveaway. However, before we do a giveaway, we haven't done the stickers or the mug, have we? Yet?
Or the winner from last week.
The winner from last week. Yeah.
Should we do the winner from last week first?
Should we do the winner from last week first?
Let's do the winner from last week first.
Oh, we could do the winner from last week first.
Should we do the winner from next week?
Last.
That'd be impressive.
The way I do it, you probably could do the winner for next week. Yeah.
What is the biggest state in America, Texas?
Right. Right. Let's have a look what we could win.
Is it locked on you, Ted?
It's locked on me now. Yeah. We'll do a screen share. And this is what.
Shall we do the build up first before you accidentally give away the name?
Yeah. I remember to do that. If you took part last week, this is what you could have won. This is what. This is what you could have won. You could have won a speedboat, but you're going to walk away with a Tamiya overnight bag. A grand.
We had the theme of knights in shining armor, and it has the word knight in it, so we said it was tenuous.
Yeah, it was the most tenuous link we could find to a link where knights in shining armor. It was this overnight bag from Tamiya. All 17 litres of it, so you can get loads of kits in there.
Oh, overnight. I get it now. Okay.
Is it taking him a week?
Penny fell a long way, didn't it, Chris? Round the world.
Right. Yes. So that's the build. That's the build up. Have we done enough building up now? Stop sharing.
There we go. Don't forget to lock it off you. Now I can't remember what we asked. I think we asked last week. Was it? It
was
knights and shining armors and.
Yeah, it was nightly quotes.
Yes, that's it. Glorious and gallant quotes we asked you for.
Yeah, and I was just trying to find, but I can't find them. Yeah, I think the winner last week. I won't tell you who it was yet, but his quote wasn't actually the winner, but it's what he said anyway. Dragon, where I see no. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I was expecting roars of laughter then. Never mind.
We knew what it was because we told you.
They're laughing in chat. It's fine. Yeah.
It's a way of telling.
A special kind of laugh.
It's a way of telling.
In one, says Lawrence.
Yeah, and the winner from last week is pause for effect. It was comment number 4, I believe. It was Ickle Pete. Is Ickle Pete in the chat tonight? Ickle Pete? Because sometimes your YouTube name is different from your
actual name.
Yes.
Sometimes it's fairly obvious.
I'm assuming Ickle Pete isn't actually his actual name.
I'm going to assume he's also about 6'8" as well, probably.
Yeah, it'd be a cracking name if it was, though, wouldn't it? What's your name? I'm Ickle Pete.
This is Big Dave. Hello, Big Dave.
You must be Ickle Pete then.
Yep, so well done, Ickle Pete. If that is you.
If you are watching, or if you're watching this on catch up, send an email to Ted.
He is watching. He's just said, yeah, I won something.
Yay.
All right, yeah. Well, send me an email anyway to ted@wmodels.co.uk, and remember to tell us what you won because we forget.
Yep. Yeah, don't forget to put in there what it is you've actually won because the mail will go to the guys at the store and they won't know necessarily what you won.
Yeah. Remember, you can't get away with saying I won an Abrams tank because
no.
Yeah, we've tried. Yeah, people have tried that, but yeah, we know, we can spot them.
SpiddyQ8 says, not mine, that's my given name. You don't even want to try and pronounce my surname. Ted does want to try and pronounce your surname.
Yeah, we want Ted to try and pronounce your surname.
But your son, yeah.
Please write your surname in the chat and put as many extra consonants in as you can.
Yeah, so well done there, Ickle Pete.
Yep. Also, Ickle Pete, are you actually 6'8"? That would be hilarious. Yeah, I can close that tab now. My computer can stop screaming at me. I have the winner up just in case. The thing is, Ted, you know that one week where you kind of gave the winner's name straight away?
Yeah.
I think you kind of dragged it out a bit too long this week. We need to work on the balance, don't we?
Yeah. Right.
By the way, we forgot to say earlier when we were going through the what's in store. For those of you who are new and don't know, when we do the what's in store stuff, the guys at wModels tell us regularly that when we finish the show, by the time we finish the show, they've often sold out of some of the stuff that we show because it gets snapped up. Now, we don't know when they've got stuff in stock, if they've got 1 of them, 12 of them, 5 of them. So if there's anything in that little selection that tickled your fancy, don't hang around. Do what Ted says and...
slap it in your basket.
There you go. Get it in your basket. And remember, if you've got it in your basket, it's still available for other people to buy. So make sure you get it in your basket and process the order. Then you can guarantee you've got it.
Equal Pete says, no, I'm only 6 foot.
Oh, near enough.
Yeah.
So if something there took your fancy, don't hang on it round on it, because by the time we get to the end of the show tonight, it might have sold out.
Yeah. So
grab it
slap
while you
it in
can.
your basket. Slap it in your basket so you remember it's there, but it's not yours until you check it out.
Yep.
That's it. Good.
Slap it in your basket and check it out of your basket. That doesn't work, does it?
The Crystal Eagle has a question. He says, "Hi Ted and Fox." It's fine. I don't mind. That's fine. I bought an Apex airbrush and white, grey, and black primers too. Will the Apex shoot white primer okay? I think it depends on the size of your needle, but
I don't think there's any reason why it shouldn't. Just white primer tends to act a little bit differently to the grey and black primers. With your white primer, start with some mist coats. Where you can get away with just slapping it on with the grey and black primers, white primers tend to be a little bit more funny to work with. So
they do dry out on the needle quite a lot.
Yeah. So
primers, you normally need a slightly bigger needle than you might need for normal paint, or slightly higher pressure. But
yeah, depending on the primer, 0.35 or more would be better. Although some can go lower than that, but if it's a 0.2, 0.3, you might be stretching it a bit. And you can't thin primers; it makes them not work. So
yeah. So but the usual the white primer does act differently because of the pigment makeup or something in it. So
yeah, pigment in white primers is more it's not actually chalky, but it's chalky. It dries out and powders faster. White's a nightmare primer color to use unless you use a rattle can, to be honest.
Well, white paint is not much fun either.
Yeah.
Really.
If I ever have to paint white or use white primer, I tend to try and get around it by using rattle cans if I can.
Sergeant Bones comes in there. He says Apex, it'll do it fine at 25 psi. Yeah.
You go a bit higher up for primers because they're thicker, so 20 to 25 psi usually.
And Alan Northwest Modeler says shake white primer really well. So
yeah, for about half an hour. Vallejo primer is like trying to spray cheese, says Tony Blackwell. Don't use Vallejo primer. Just don't use it. Just don't. Yeah. Anyway.
Right. Anyway, we could do some more giveaways now, can't we?
Yes, we have things to give away.
Crystal Eagle says, "Sorry, mate, I didn't know your name."
Yeah, I have sent some stickers out, by the way. Yeah, so some stickers are on the way to you if you've won stickers in the past. I did run out of stamps, so I've just got a couple of left from the last batch. It's only 1 or 2 left, so if you haven't got it, if you haven't got it today or maybe tomorrow, it'll be with you hopefully by the end of the week. I'll get them out to you.
Unless it's moved, in which case give it a couple of weeks.
yeah, I'll stop giving stickers out. Fox and Chris give stickers out because they're...
Oh, shut up. The envelopes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So you could receive your sticker from me, him, or him.
Yes. Now, if you've not done one of these before, these are just little silly giveaways for the chat. So if you're watching anywhere that doesn't have the live chat and you want to win a sticker or a mug, theoretically a mug, we think, then you do need to be in the live chat. So if you're watching anywhere that doesn't have the chat on it, just go to the video you're watching now and it'll be on either this corner or this corner. I can't remember if I'm back to front. I think
it's that one.
Is it that one?
I don't know. One of them.
Is it that one? Well, no, you're the wrong way on your screen as well. Anyway, one of these corners, it'll have a little YouTube symbol. Click on that. It'll take you to the live stream on YouTube where there is the live chat. On most devices, some it won't because of reasons. And all we'll do is we'll ask you a question. As always, we'll ask you a question. Don't answer till Ted or me or Chris says go. And then we'll take the first answer that we see that's correct. And remember that when we see the chat, we see the first answers in the order that YouTube receive them, not in the order that you see them. We have, by the way, tweaked the stream this week to make it more real time and less buffery. So it might work a bit better for you. We've changed some settings. It might work better. But remember, we see the chat differently to you guys.
I did just have a moment of panic then when all the answers started appearing. I thought I was buffering behind. Then I thought I can't be because I'm actually in it.
Because you're actually in it. It's like, where's my spinny thing?
Yeah.
As always,
We don't need to ask any questions. We just wait until we see a nice question.
It's a nice answer that we like.
Yeah.
If you've already got a sticker or a mug and you want another one, you are more than welcome. Feel free. If you've already got a sticker and a mug and you don't want another one, though, just don't answer the question. Give somebody else a chance. But anyway, do you want to go first, Tedward? You've got some questions there, I think, haven't you?
I've got a question from Adrian David.
Yeah, remember, if it's one you've sent in, the person gets a sticker as well.
Yeah, he said he craves more stickers. So, yeah, just send us your, include your address. Send me your address because I don't keep details. Yeah, His question is this week. It's rather sort of linked directly to what's in store. Indirectly. It's rather linked to what we have had, what's in store. And his question is, who was the last man to walk on the moon? Who was the last man to walk on the moon? Go.
Oh, I can't remember now.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
I'm going to try and put these snap it things back in the box. I'm going to be nervous about it.
If it explodes, then.
We'll see it on the Manchester Evening News. Man's house.
I'm not going to put them back in the box.
Are your hands insured?
I'm going to. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want
to. We've got answers coming up, but I don't know if anyone. I don't think Kevin Spacey is the correct answer.
Kevin Spacey's never the right answer, not anymore. Shepherd, Superman, Eugene Cernan.
There's not the answer I've got, but yeah, people are coming up with it. Maybe it's just spelling.
As we always say, we don't check these answers, so we're actually looking for the answer that he's got sent to him already, rather than the right one necessarily. So
yes, we don't do any research as to the answer.
I'm thinking that Adrian's maybe could have spelled it wrong because a couple of people have come up with the same name. Probably coming off emails, probably coming off Google as well. So I think I'll take the first one that's come out with it was Jamie Bourne, who come in with you.
Well, Jamie Bourne's never been to the moon.
Yeah,
you don't know that.
Yeah,
that's true.
Adrian David has got the answer of Gene German. No, I don't think was Gene German a name.
No, it was Gene Cernan, I think.
Eugene Cernan.
Shall I check it? Shall I make sure? Yes, bear in mind when you do send us question answers, we do just assume your answer is correct. So, yeah, make sure it's reasonably correct. Right, so last man on the moon. Last man on the moon was Gene Cernan. Yes, so Eugene Cernan.
Yeah, so Jamie Bourne wins it this week then. We'll take that one. Jamie, yeah. I know you want to stick a last week or whatever, but send me your details again because, as I say, once I've sent them out, I'll delete the emails so that I'm not sending you again or I think I forgot it.
Yes, we don't keep your personal details.
No. Right.
And Adrian as well. Have we got Adrian's address from anything?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be in touch.
Yeah, give Ted a shout for either address for a sticker as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
His answer says Gene Kerman was the one in the Kerbal Space program.
Yes, we know what that is. It's a video game, Ted. Actually, we should get Ted playing Kerbal Space program, Chris.
No, it's not that. We're not that cruel.
Yeah. Breaking news. Did Ted not appear on Xbox the other day?
Yes,
Ted has access to an Xbox.
Ted found he has access to an Xbox.
Ted's now got an Xbox Live profile, game tag and everything.
Yeah, so, and he's got a freaky score on it as well. I don't know where.
I know. Special Kitten 42.
Little pickpocket.
Tony Blackwell says he met and shook hands with an astronaut and had no idea until later that he was an astronaut. I assume he wasn't wearing the big padded suit at the time.
No, I met and shook hands with the guy that played the postman in Cheers, without realizing it was the guy that played the postman in Cheers. And I had a good, nice, long chat with him at a wedding. I was at a wedding and he was at this hotel for some reason. And then somebody came up and said, "Do you know who that guy was?" Just picked him like, no. Having a good gas for 20 minutes, we were.
Yeah. The thing is now that you're famous, people will say, "Yeah, do you know who I was talking to today? I was talking to Fox."
I'm like anti-famous. People run away to get other people's signatures when I walk past.
Yeah.
Are we doing mugs, Ted? Have we heard any more about mugs?
I haven't heard any more about mugs, but I'm assuming it's carry on as normal, and we could give mugs away.
There'll be a mug backlog.
Just an update. They did actually run out of mugs, but we've still been giving them away. So they are piling up a list of people who need a mug, sending to them. At this rate, they'll get the shipment of mugs and be sending them straight out again. So.
So we're doing our best because I'm still waiting for a mug. I've got one, but I need one for work.
I've got one.
Yeah. Pete, James, if you're watching, I need a mug for work. So
big mugs as well. We need big mugs.
Yeah, big.
What they need is some temperature. They need some of these. This is what they need.
Yeah,
they need some of the cooler cups where you can
travel mugs.
Cold. What are these called? Travel things.
Travel thing. That says so. wModels have a negative amount of mugs.
Negative
yes,
mugs.
They do in fact have negative mugs at the
moment. They actually hold your beverage on the outside.
They're working on mug futures.
Yes, by the time they place their order, we still keep giving away. Pete has to phone the mug maker up each day. That order we've got, can you add another one? Then the next week, can you add another one? That's why it's taking so long to get to them, I think, because they keep having to make another one. Have you got that wModels logo put back on the mug?
Yeah, just keep it running. Keep it running.
Yeah. So we've got a giveaway for the mugs. Should we do a mug?
Shall I do my question?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, dead easy one for some people and a little bit of giggling for others. Earlier on, we were talking about the German V2 and its little launch delivery system. Obviously, it's a product of the great mind of Dr. Werner von Braun, who then went to work for NASA. More rockets. Yeah. So the question is, what is a baby puffin called? Go.
Oh. Yeah. Werner von Braun. He might know everything about rockets. He might be a rocket scientist, but knows nothing about modelling.
Yeah, so what is a baby puffin called?
Nobody's answering.
Cute.
Squab, cute. Puffling. There you go, Zadster straight in. Puffling.
Zadster. Well done, Zadster. Send us your details. Ted at wModels.
Yeah, puffling. Such a cute word. Puffling.
Tasty is also the valid answer. Yeah.
I don't think they've got a lot of meat on them.
No, but it's very tender.
Yeah. Pufflings. They're called pufflings.
Got lunch, Derek.
And we'll put you on the backlog list for the mugs at some point. Oh my God, at last, beam.
Right. Well, I haven't forgot. We're going to
Zadster also says, I thought I made that up.
Yeah. Lawrence, Techmate Lawrence says Porg.
Porg. There was a question about Porgs. Somebody kindly sent a question about Porgs. We may do it next week if we haven't got it. It's a bit of trivia, really. I suppose it's a bit of trivia rather than a question. Should it go?
Wait, what's this for? What's this for now?
Yeah, why did the Last Jedi have Porgs on Luke's island?
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Does everybody know that?
Yeah,
I do.
I didn't know that.
I do.
No? Well,
yeah, but you don't know what Porg, Luke, or Jedi is, or island.
No.
Island. Yeah.
Reading out the words and hoping it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm reading it here, trying to look as well. I'm not reading it. I don't know what more on about. Yeah, because there was just too many of them, really.
Yeah, there were puffins all over the island, and they had to. They couldn't get rid of them all, so they just covered them up with porgs.
Yeah.
Speedy Crate says we all know that.
Yeah. Sorry, Gwen. It's a bit of trivia for those that don't know. You can't remove them. You can't physically get rid of them, and digitally removing them is an issue and a lot of work. So let's just roll with it and play with it.
Yeah,
and that's what they did. Yeah.
Alan says Scott Sutherland sent them. Fly, my children, fly! In the way.
Mike Mountain's up there with a big net now, catching them all. So if anybody wants a porg, yeah, or a puffin, yeah, just send your address to Mike Mountain at care of or
35@geocities.com.
Adrian Davies asking if Fox is going to go and see Solo.
I don't know. The funny thing is, right, I love me some Star Wars, but I love me some Star Wars when it was every 3 or 4 years. Now it's like every 5 minutes. I'm like, it's like I didn't even go and see The Last Jedi. I waited till I could watch it online because I'm like, I've only just watched one, and I don't know. I like the new films. I don't have the enthusiasm that I used to have because they're all the time now.
I do think they've stuffed up by releasing it next month instead of leaving it till December, because it was only just then, and now it's here, and then there's going to be 18 months till the next one, which might be all right, but why not just leave it in December?
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like too much of a good thing, really. There's not much I would say spread it out as much as possible. But Star Wars, I would. So we'll see. I quite want to watch it, but I don't think I'll go and watch it.
No, Star Wars is about the only sort of film that I tend to go to the cinema to watch. So yeah.
Well, never mind. I'm just getting old. I don't like to go into these cinemas with the young kids and their rock and their roll and their hippity hop.
I've got to go and see it quick, because then I can come back and tell you that Jar Jar's in it.
Sprugu says Disney have ruined Star Wars. I think Star Wars have ruined Disney.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I don't mind the new stuff. I think it's all right.
People were cross with Disney for taking Star Wars, but they took over Marvel and did all right with that. So no,
Phil East goes horribly wrong all over the place and just says, I have no interest in. He's never liked Han as a character.
Spinix says the 4th doesn't work in December. Well, true, but it's not coming out on the 4th, is it? It's coming out on the 23rd or something.
Yeah. So he says, what about the new Avengers? I have no interest whatsoever in Marvel. Just find it as, to me, Marvel is just childish nonsense. I've never liked the comic books, so I have no interest in the movies. Superheroes and nonsense, nah, not for me. Give me Batman. That's as far as I go. Batman. Other than that, that's DC. I know. That's the only kind of character I'll enjoy. Because silly Marvel stuff, I can't stand Marvel's art style, so therefore I don't really like the movies because it's not my kind of subject. So.
I think Philip Rhodes is getting close to flirting with you and your timeout button.
Don't make me press the button, Philip.
It says Jar Jar is ace. Yay.
Yeah.
Zadster says, I like Avengers, but only with Steed and Emma Peel. Yes.
I don't know. I've always kind of found the superhero stuff a bit childish to me, so it's just never interested me at all.
Well, it sort of is, but it's sort of okay as well, isn't it? I like.
Yeah, no, I don't. I just never. Because growing up, I could not stand the kind of Stan Lee Marvel style of artwork in the comics. So it was a complete turn. I was like, I don't like that style, so I just hated all the stuff. Whereas Batman would kick ass. So.
Yeah. Sorry,
I did like Deadpool though. I'll give him that. Deadpool was awesome.
So I've just got my own conversation going here about the Avengers with Emma Peel. Yeah, I think Emma Peel was better one than Purdy. Purdy was great, but I think Emma Peel.
Ted, Emma Peel.
Yeah.
Or Sally James.
That's going back. No, Emma Peel. Emma Peel for me.
That could be.
So Tony Blackwell says he read a fan theory about Jar Jar that he was secretly a Sith Lord. Yeah, I read that.
Says that
quite interesting.
Every time somebody mentions Jar Jar. Yes.
Yeah. Emma Peel in the Hellfire Club episode. Yeah. Right, we must move on from that.
Yes, think about flesh tones again. Move on. Or leather tones.
It wasn't flesh tones. No, it certainly wasn't flesh tones.
But it's leather, Ted. It's all leather. It's even worse.
Yeah.
Tight-fitting leather suit.
Shiny leather.
Yeah, but we'll move on because this is a family show. Yeah. Anyway, we better do a giveaway, haven't we, for next week for all those that can't take part in tonight's chat. We'll do a giveaway for you. A prize. What all you need to do is comment on the video when it goes live on the tubes.
Yeah, so this is open to everybody, not just people in chat, because we won't pull the winner till next Monday.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what we do.
If you're not watching this live, if you're listening to this bit, get your typing fingers ready. Don't type like that because that's really weird. But type like that.
Unless you're very small and the desk is very high.
Yeah.
Remember, if you are in the chat, wait till this stream is finished. Give it about 10 or 15 minutes after the stream is finished, and then go and put your answer in the video because it'll be a normal YouTube video on the channel by then.
Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll lock it on me, and I'll share I'll share the screen. Share.
Are you locked on you, Ted? Are you locked on you?
Locked on me.
You didn't press the wrong button, did you?
We'll go across to here. I will show you what we're giving away this week. This week is sort of similar to the what's in store. This is the Germany V1 missile launcher with an E100 body. Looks like a Panzer IV body, that, or is it a Tiger body? I can't see because you can't see it.
Yeah, you got your tooltip over it. That's why.
Yeah, it looks like a tiger body, that doesn't it?
Mm.
I'm sure the experts out there will tell us.
If that was Warhammer, it'd be like an orc vehicle with one massive missile on it. It'd be like the worst missile rack ever.
Well, you could Warhammer it up like we had that series a few weeks ago, didn't we? Where we were picking vehicles to sci-fi up.
Yeah, that would be an orc vehicle with one just ginormous one single missile on it.
I don't know them. Is it Model Collect? Is that the brand?
Yes, I've Model Collective. I can't remember the
Model Collect. Yeah,
they've done some stuff with ammo.
Details on it.
Ammo logo on it because they've done some bits with ammo.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
They're one of the newer companies. They're actually supposed to be quite good.
Yeah, this is a 1/72 scale, by the way. Missile launcher with E100 body. Yeah, so that's your chance to win the giveaway for this week. These are, yeah. If you don't, yeah, if you want to buy it quicker than next week, it is in the offers, but we don't know how many are left. So make sure there's one left for us. We'll give this away. All you have to do is at the end of the show, in the comments underneath the YouTube video, is make a comment, and we're going to think of a comment now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Probably the noise the rocket makes when it takes off or hits something, or
yeah.
What? No, tell you what, here's one. Describe the noise when the rocket lands but hits an island full of puffins. What will you hear?
Yeah. If it was an island like Orkney, not actually Orkney, but if it was an island like Orkney full of puffins, what would you hear?
Yeah. It's kind of grim, but it'll be funny. When this stream is finished, give it about 10 or 15 minutes. When this stream is just a video on the wModels YouTube page, just put your comment on there, and we won't pull the winner till next Monday. So if you're not watching this live, you can still take part.
The rocket doesn't actually have to explode either. It could just land nicely.
I was just going to say that. Perhaps it crash lands on the island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to explode.
Yeah, remember, it's not actually your comment that wins, it's to taking part. If you put a name, if your name is in the chat, you get included in the draw. So
yeah, you could just put flibbit gibbet and we'd still keep it in the draw as long as there's a comment on there. We just have to give you something to work off. Otherwise, we just say put a comment on the video, bye, because that'd be boring then, wouldn't it? You wouldn't now be having thoughts about exploding puffins. So
yeah, Jamie, I got your address. Thank you. Yeah, I got that. Okay. And on that note, it's about time to wrap up, I think, for tonight. Oh, it's still locked on me, isn't it? Yeah, there we go.
Is it locked on you, Ted?
No, it's not now. See?
Did you click the stop broadcasting button? No.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah. Right. Time to go. Another couple of hours of mayhem, madness, and who knows what.
Oh, before we do, just a quick update. Since the last show, they did have the guys at wModels had an enormous Tamiya delivery. So do go and check out all the Tamiya stuff. Rather cleverly on the Facebook page, if you noticed, they put the picture up with the Eagle transporter saying we've had a massive delivery, and then they listed all the products that had come in the post that was underneath it, and not the post about the delivery. So if you're wondering, so go and have a look in store. They put all the links to products in the wrong post. Yeah. Well done.
Yeah. Remember, wModels are one of the biggest stockists the biggest stockist.
They are the biggest UK stockist of Tamiya.
Yeah.
The largest UK stockist. So go and have a look through the Tamiya sections and all the bits and bobs because they've had a massive load of stock in. So if you've been waiting for one thing to come back in stock, it's probably back in stock.
Yeah, and if it's not in stock, drop them an email, drop them a message on the contact form from the website and say, hey, wait, have you got such and such in? And they'll probably get it for you.
Yep. And how big a delivery? They've actually got a shipping container out the front of the shop now. Because the warehouse is so full of everything else, they've even got a shipping container outside.
They didn't put it in front of the door, did they? They're not all trapped inside.
No, but they've got a little bed and a little sort of, camping light for John so he can stay there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's fair enough packing. Yeah, anyway, time to go, I think. Time to call it a night. Thank you very much for taking part tonight. And yeah, I'm still here in the workshop. I'll probably be here next week because I understand we will at least get a week's notice before I go. Come back next week. I'll hopefully still be here. And for that,
I put in on bets that Ted moves between Tuesday and Sunday, but doesn't get broadband for about 6 weeks.
Yeah, so I will be touring all the Starbucks and Costas and everything, and I can be doing on location live streams.
Yeah.
Make sure you leave your router plugged in there, and then you can just sit in the garden and still connect to it.
Yeah, that's it.
True. You just pop down there, just park outside the house. I'm in the car. It's 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, could do that. Yeah, anyway, so hopefully I will be here next week, unless things take a dramatic turn and I'm all gone. But then these two guys down here somewhere will look after you. Frightening. But anyway, I'll be around in chat if I can't get on screen. So good night, everybody. Thank you for joining in, and we'll see you all next week. Bank holiday next week, but we'll still be here. Yes, unless Peter refuses to pay the overtime. Peter doesn't pay overtime. Bye, everyone.
Adios, amigos.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Yeah, right. Turn it off. Yeah, turning it off. Yeah, bye.
Ciao, Bella.